Live from the Findlay Toyota studio, you're listening to ESPN Las Vegas.
What's up, Las Vegas? Welcome in. It is another rousing edition of Cofield and Company, a company takeover, a Vantobo y los Vatos edition of Cofield and Company. JVT here with you today. Adam Hill of the Las Vegas Review-Journal is in as well. Wearing a pretty sweet shirt, by the way. What's up?
Allegedly, Ian.
What do you mean? What does that
I'm
mean?
Here.
Yes, you are. Oh, like you're busy and you're doing other things?
Nah, just, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Ready to go.
I'm messing with my headphone jack.
Yeah.
It's like one of those. It's like it can't be on all the way. There we go. I'm in. Found the sweet spot. I'm back. All right. I didn't hear anything you said. What'd you say?
I don't remember.
Okay. It's one of those days. I will tell you that right now. You're busy. I'm busy. Now, I don't have anything to finish at this point right now, but I've been working all day, so I got to tell you.
I don't know. When I walked in, you had your feet kicked up. You were pretty relaxed.
Yeah, I was getting my 20 minutes of relaxation. You know, you gotta relax for a little bit. Can't all be work.
It's the rumor.
I was on my way in today, so we'll have to talk about what I have to do later tonight, coming up in the 4 o'clock hour.
Yeah,
I will be going to a fancy steakhouse later tonight.
Well, also like
I am owed dinner.
Well, I mean, we'll get into it, I guess. But I mean, like that you throughout the what are you doing after the show?
Oh,
that's like, it. Maybe JVT wants to grab a meal, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to go spend $200 after in a place that I love, by the way. Like, I'm not.
Which I'm not on the hook for.
Like on a random Monday night, I'm not going to throw like $200 on dinner.
So my issue today was I had not eaten anything today. I was really busy this morning. You know, fit in the good workout this morning, Adam, on my way to work. And I didn't have any breakfast. And so I'm very hungry. But I'm going to a fancy steakhouse later tonight for a free meal. And so I'm like, all right, I can't do too much. And then I realized I'm a human being with free will. And one of the things that I don't do enough of, which I don't think many of us do enough of maybe, for lunch breaks if you have to go buy something, is to go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
Instead of going to, a restaurant with pre-made stuff, fast food, whatever. So not only did I decide to go to the grocery store, I went to La Bonita.
Wow, okay. All right.
And I just got a pound of shrimp ceviche.
Wow.
And just destroyed that whole thing. Would you like a tortilla chip?
No, I'm good, actually.
Yeah. Would you like a tortilla chip?
I will say that
I bought a pound of ceviche.
I mean, you weren't kidding.
No.
You're just going to crush some chips right now? It's awesome. Right into the microphone, too. People are going to love that driving around. I will say that if there was, a certain grocery store that there's only a couple of in town that are more convenient, I probably would go more often for, I want to grab lunch. I got like 45 minutes.
Do they have a hot bar in the middle of the?
Yeah.
Oh, I've recently discovered this place.
Bro, it's incredible.
Only $12 for like a pound of food?
It's incredible.
Oh, yeah.
However, especially my side of town, not necessarily, there's not like a convenient one around where I am, where I would need it to be. If it was in the right place, I'd probably go there all the time.
Oh, there's the newer one right there by downtown Summerlin.
Yeah.
I see. This is great because I probably ate there for the first time 2 months ago.
An Olive Bar.
Oh God, no, I didn't see that. Really?
Oh, it's so good.
See, now we're gonna go through because I tried an olive for the first time in my adult life the other day.
What?
Yeah.
Tremendous.
C.
There's so many of them.
It was like a C.
There's so many different kinds.
It was just like a green olive.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm a Greek olive guy. Like they're the best ones. Like a Kalmata.
Wait, say it.
Kalmata, I think. I don't know.
What bridge I have yet to cross? I'm sure you have crossed this Rubicon already.
Stuffed?
No, to be brave enough at the place in which you are discussing to sit and eat my meal there.
Oof. No, I haven't done it.
That seems brave.
Yeah, I haven't.
People are grocery shopping and doing all sorts of stuff. It's very chaotic. It's
like
very
a bar.
Let's be honest. It's very swanky and sexy.
Tipster. Tipster for sure.
A lot of hot people there. I don't want to.
By the way, I feel like I love that you just discovered this. This is not like it's not like a new place.
No, no, I know that. It's the first time ever because you know what how I did. Because I was trying to eat like relatively healthy. So this was again one of those was like I should just go to a grocery store, and so I went to this healthy grocery store. I was like, let me just I'm sure they have pre-made wraps or something. And then I walked in, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
And I had to ask one of the workers there, and I go, so like, I can just load this box up with like whatever. And she looked at me like I was an idiot.
Yeah, oh, you are.
She's like, yeah,
it's because you are.
She was also stocking like 10 shelves, and I interrupted her for one of the stupidest questions.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
I mean, the problem, and I'll say this: there was the off season. Was it my first off season? Was it 2017? It was 2017 training camp, maybe in Napa for the Raiders.
Okay,
was staying with the great Michael Galkin, who's no longer in the business. Somebody that I worked with early on, and because we had a house up there. Obviously, to cover the Raiders, you had to be there for a month, so we had a house. And when you're not paying for your own meals necessarily, every day we had like almost a competition. Nobody ever said it was a competition. Mm-hmm. But it would be like you would go there, make your salad, and it goes by weight.
Yep.
And it would be like, oh, look, my salad was $41 today. And the next day you'd see like his was $43. I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to go for $44 tomorrow. I mean, we were just crushing this massive salad. But you'd have like half for lunch, half for dinner.
Sure.
It was awesome. But yes, but what I'm saying is, and also the one closest to me is it's not a convenient parking spot.
Yep.
Like there's nowhere to park around there. So it sucks. But I would definitely go there a lot more. And yes, by the way, if you're listening, this is the show when we're on.
I mean, this is relatable.
Of course it is.
I mean, everybody I think has at one point been driving around and deciding what they want for lunch that day.
They have, but also I am fascinated by the entire point of this story. Not the entire point of the story, but a huge part of this story being that you literally just discovered
the place.
Yeah, like now.
Yeah, like I knew it existed, but I did not know it had that. As an option.
Yeah.
And I actively desire to return for food.
You do well now, John. You're a successful man. But you had I mean there was a time in your life it was like, all right, you're not really going to pay that amount for food.
Right.
Now it's like, all right,
drop in the bucket, brother.
I don't mind throwing because it is not cheap.
No.
It's much more expensive to do it.
I don't know, it was like $12 a pound.
Sure,
and I would get
you got like a 2 pound.
No, I just get usually I would just get like 1.2, some chicken because I would get the lighter stuff, cauliflower, things like that.
Well, that's the thing you would throw. Oh man, we would make the salads and you would make it was like a 1 pound salad and you would throw like half pound of shrimp, half pound of chicken in there. Like this is fantastic.
I love it.
Oh, it's great. And
now,
then for me, a pound of olives.
Yeah, well, that's insane.
My favorite food on the planet.
Now, a step too far is I did try to get into like the those probiotic sodas.
Yeah,
that's too far. I don't mind being healthy. I love a good like curry flavored like broccolini mix.
Oh, the broccolini is so good, dude.
But the probiotic sodas were a step too far.
I would agree with that.
I couldn't do it.
I might be on them now, though. We'll see.
Really?
I might be.
Oh, no. I see every day, if I were to drink those instead of my regular zero sugar sodas, I'd probably be filled with rage. Similar to the rage I was filled with over the weekend when the Dodgers acquired Taylor School.
I can't. Don't do this. Don't do this.
It was good.
Lotus Broadcasting's own Brandy has been just deluged by me the last couple of days. A Raiders camp, being a Dodgers fan that she is.
Oh, yeah.
Me being a Tigers fan.
Of course.
It is not the Dodgers. You know what? I'm already starting. Sorry.
Okay, so now I will say before you start, I think the fair way to put
we
this.
Go back to talking about expensive salads. I need to talk about this.
Okay.
And I want to, but I really don't want to.
So I think it's not like perfect two ways, but I think there's two angles that we can attack. Okay. You tell me if this is fair.
Okay.
I think there's the owners.
Yep.
And I think there's the Dodgers. I think those are the two broad ways to look at this. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think it's so simplistic and like it's like a childlike mind to look at the Dodgers side of this.
Sure.
Like it's not the Dodgers' fault.
Right. So my Alex Jones aluminum foil tin hat theory.
I've got some.
The basic
conspiracy.
one, which is actually not that big of a conspiracy theory, is a lot of people keep going back to the package of three minor leaguers that, and for those who didn't miss it over the weekend, Tarek Skubal is now a member of the Los Angeles Dodgers.
I didn't want to say it.
Big Arm, of course, acquired right at the deadline, which, by the way, just ended. We'll get some of the recap and some of the last-minute deals that just went down today. But I think a lot of the owners looked around and was like, How do we get our salary cap? How do we get what we want here? Let's just let the Dodgers go and get Tarek Skubal, because what's going to happen is, and I saw a lot of people in our industry, people that we know, immediately took to social media. Dodgers ruined everything. Baseball's over. No baseball next year. You could thank L.A. And it's like, how about you get mad at the owners who could have shipped off 3 minor leaguers for a rental arm and gone for it with Tarek Skubal, and instead they want to look at Los Angeles when the reality is that I don't think there's anybody happier than 29 Major League Baseball owners today.
Yeah, and I like in that case, because I agree with you. I don't think it's a conspiracy at all. I think that's what happened. And I think it's completely unfair to the Tigers, as a Tigers fan, that the rest of the league said, no, we're not even going to be involved in this. We want the Dodgers to get him. Like, we want the Dodgers to get Skubal and win the World Series, because that's beneficial to us in the long run, because it gets them what they want. Because people are going to be so mad, rightfully so, actually. I mean, it's preposterous. People are going to be so mad that they're just going to be on the owner's side, which they will be. And people are going to take the owner's side this offseason because of all this. And the other owners in the league are going to get what they want by forcing Skubal to the Dodgers. And again, this is not like when people are saying, anybody could have stopped this. The Cubs could have stopped this. The Brewers could have stopped this. Why would they want to? This is going to get them what they want. And there's a lot of other factors. The bankruptcy stuff that the Dodgers completely got, a long time ago, nobody even talks about. The pushing of money down the road, which is just a silly thing, but it's something the Dodgers figured out, and it enables them to do all this.
And they're the only team that can defer money, right?
No, but
according to the CBA, there's a CBA clause that says only the Dodgers can defer money down the road.
No, but it's also, there are financial benefits that the Dodgers have.
Sure.
Because of their bankruptcy case, which is, again, it was silly that Major League Baseball allowed this to happen, but they did. And the Dodgers are able to do all this financially, and good for them. It's fine. Go do what you're going to do. Win your title. Again, it's, as I pointed out to people, it's you're at this point you're cheering for the Roadrunner. Good job, the Roadrunner. Hey, you beat the Coyote again. Good job, buddy. Right. But it's also
such an old reference.
There's also and I was about to give you the other example, which is a local reference. It's Gorman.
Hell yeah.
The Dodgers are Gorman.
Yeah, they are.
Is that fun?
I've enjoyed it.
Have you really? I mean, is it really fun?
No, of course not.
I talked, and I didn't see this game, but I talked to somebody who said one of the games last year, a team had taken a couple of injuries, and in the second half they were like, we can't do this anymore, and then just started taking a knee on offense because they're like, okay. Like, that's fun. If you're Gorman, you're like, yeah.
I mean,
but that is what this is. It's not that far off.
It's a little far off.
It's not.
It's not. They are more than likely going to win the World Series. Yeah. But they are not so overtly dominant that no other team stands a chance against them.
I mean, I think
the way that you're presenting the Gorman dynamic.
I think they're getting there.
Sure. I mean, their odds didn't really change, though.
Again,
their odds to win the World Series went from like plus 175 to plus 150.
It's not the Dodgers' fault.
Yeah.
Again, I'm being clear on that. But I was talking to a Dodgers fan the other day before the trade deadline, and I was like, before the trade happened.
Was it face of the franchise Brady Flores?
It wasn't. Okay. It was somebody else in the Raiders media who's a massive Dodgers fan who's gloating all day.
Oh, they sound like they suck.
And I said, I don't even want to talk to you because I know it's going to happen this weekend, and I don't even want to talk to you before this happens. So just stay away from me. And he's like, oh, this is about Skubal. He's like, the Dodgers aren't going to get him. Everybody says all the time the Dodgers get all these guys, and that's not really what happens. The Dodgers don't act that way. Like, they're not going to get him. And I said, yes, they are. Of course they are. And they did. And now you've got him. And now they're, yay, good job. You have every best player. Now, again, that doesn't mean – and, by the way, Gorman could lose. Mm-hmm. Gorman could lose the game. I know they have every best player in the state, but they could also, I don't know, drop 7 snaps in a row, and they'd still probably win. But things could happen, sure. But you have every best player. Like, you have the best player at almost every position. So, good job.
The Dodgers traded for the best pitcher in baseball over the past seasons and didn't have to give up a single player on their active roster or one of their top 4 prospects.
John.
This wasn't about payroll. This was one team going for it all, and the rest of the league not even trying. That was Arash Markazi.
the rest of the league not even trying, but for what reason?
Yep. Because
I know, and I've heard, this is Steve's take for a long time. Hey, other teams can stop him. Other teams can do the same thing. They can sign the guy. Now, I know that there's part of it is, that if you go get him, then the Dodgers call the Pirates and they're like, hey, we'll take Skeens.
Well, no,
and
but
we'll take whoever else.
Before you go down that path, I think one of the things we should point out is Skubal is an expiring contract.
Yes.
And so
they're going to sign him.
Well,
John.
right, and that's the thing. That was the other excuse that people are making is why would my team trade for Skubal when he's just going to sign with the Los Angeles Dodgers in the offseason? And my response is we saw this now 8 years ago. The Toronto Raptors had an opportunity, and they said, you know what? We don't know if Kawhi Leonard's going to re-sign with us, but we're going to trade for him anyway. And maybe he re-signs, maybe he signs with somebody else once we're over with, but we feel like we have a window, and we're going to try to get one of the best players in the NBA. And guess what happened? They needed some injury luck, but they acquired Kawhi Leonard. They went on to win the NBA Finals. Those are risks that you could take if you're a big boy franchise at times. And as people keep pointing out, because I feel like you can't have your cake and eat it too here with the complaints, people keep saying in one breath, like, that's all it took to go and get Tarek Skubal? Yes, because he's an expiring contract. Even though the Dodgers are widely expected to re-sign him, you still don't have to give up that much for an expiring deal. So why didn't any of these teams just go try and do it?
Because that's all it took is because every other team sabotaged this entire process. Every other team wanted Skubal to go to the Dodgers because they want to shut down baseball. That's what happened. Like this is not like all these think pieces of like, oh, could teams have stopped him, or is it this, or is it that, or why didn't another team go do it? It's because other teams have a vested interest in the Dodgers getting Skubal and making everybody mad and winning another title.
You're listening to ESPN Las Vegas from the Findlay Toyota studio.
Major League Baseball trade deadline officially in the rearview mirror. Nothing last minute coming down a Major League Baseball pipeline. I was hoping for one big bit of news that ultimately did not happen.
Oh, Tigers also traded Casey Mize to the Padres.
Oh, that came down? Okay, that's good.
Down. Yeah.
I was hoping for Mike Trout to be a member of the Philadelphia Phillies.
That would have been cool.
Yeah. They did fire sale. Like the only pieces they kept were Reed Detmers, Mike Trout. Everybody else pretty much out the door. Yeah. Walbert Urania.
Grounds crew.
Young guy. Yes, the grounds crew. So what was the complaint from Mizorowski about this?
He said it was the worst mound he's ever experienced. He said like multiple times throughout the game he had them come over and try to fix it, and they just couldn't. He said it was just too hard. Mound sucked, and he said they weren't really taking into consideration that he's like 6'7",
sure,
and striding far, and it's like you gotta adjust the mound a little bit, and he said they didn't. He said it's just basically an unplayable slab.
I wish that I was familiar enough with the mechanics of pitching to appreciate how annoying that would be. That just sounds like ridiculous complaining, but I obviously understand that for him.
Oh, dude, hold on.
Like you can understand why he would be annoyed by it, but I would not be able to grasp the concept of that at all.
I'm gonna go back in my athlete days thing.
Okay.
Now, I think you also know I want everything should be standard.
Correct.
Like everything should be set. The rules are the rules. You got to follow them. You've got to do this.
Sports communism. Yes.
As in the advanced stages of Little League, which I understand is it's whatever, but like you were playing on some different fields, some different grass, different mound, like different things like that. When the mound wasn't right, and I mean, there's not a grounds crew there.
Right.
It's like dads or whoever, and I would just be like, no, I'm not. I had a start where I was like, I'm not pitching on this mound. My coach was like, what are you talking about? I was like, no, I'm not.
It is incredible. To your point, there was no complaining. But when I watch my kid play my Little League Baseball, and they're pretty much standing in holes in the ground at the plate.
Yeah.
Because there's nobody to fix them.
Yeah.
So it's just giant cavernous holes at which they're hitting out of.
Yeah.
And you're wondering why they're struggling.
But I'd be like, 13-year-old, like, no, we're not. This isn't happening today.
Somebody gets some water out here.
The rubber is just it's kind of coming loose from the mound a little bit. Like, no, I'm good.
Oh, so it was okay. The rubber side, that's safe.
Yeah,
That's understandable.
Every other kid is.
I thought you were asking like, I need a hose so I could pack the dirt down here on my landing foot.
All of it. And I was like, no, I'm not doing it.
Complaining like Yankees fans are today about the trade deadline. People are annoying, dude.
That's true.
What's the online meme like? Oh, my steak is too juicy, my lobster too buttery. This is terrible. Like, at least you have a team that is actually trying to do something. The Yankees over the weekend went and got Luis Garcia Jr. And then I see multiple of the same tweet in some version. Can't wait for Cashman to use the quote, Judge, Stanton, Belly are like trade deadline acquisitions. They're not doing anything. You got the National League leader in slugging. They got Elliot Ramos as well right before the deadline too. What else do you want?
A Scooble.
I mean, okay, but he was already gone. Like, what is there to desire?
Again, they didn't try. Like, they didn't. I mean, I understand.
Jr.
I do understand. No, but I'm saying on Scooble. I'm saying every other team should be annoyed because their teams are, to some degree, even teams that acquired players are to some degree tanking.
Sure.
Like, because they do want the Dodgers to win the World Series.
Okay, but you keep going back to that. Yeah. I'm just focusing on Yankees fans complaining, even though they've got
but
the National League
that part of
leader
their complaint?
as well as Elliot Ramos is a pretty, whatever.
But isn't that part of their complaint that they didn't go get the biggest prize on the market?
Or just anything?
Yeah.
I feel like they should be happy. They tried.
It's been a while for them, too.
And Aaron Judge is coming back. Like, that should count.
No, I do think those should be considered. Like that quote of "I can't wait till that's a quote." Well, it should be.
Right? Is he playing for you?
Yeah, you don't have a guy who now are going to have him. That's an acquisition.
Yeah, I'm glad I spent my first overall pick in fantasy on him too this year. By the way,
nice, good work.
It's gone really well.
Good work.
I'm in the midst of a fire sale myself, but nobody wants to hear about the Shohei Ohtanis.
It's a good name.
Right.
Yeah, I'm trading off some guys too. And I think it's going to be great. It's an NL only league. And
that's psychopathic behavior.
It is. But also, there's a free agent budget, and I am going to invest my entire budget to get Scooble, despite being completely a seller and completely out of it. I think it's hilarious. And I think people are going to be so mad.
So how does that work? Does he become a free agent, or you have to bid for him?
Yeah, free
because
agent.
Because he enters NL?
It's a free agent, but it's a bid. It's a blind bid.
Okay, all right.
So everybody will put in their best bid.
Sure.
And I'm just going to put all of my money in.
So it's like a guillotine league type thing.
A little bit,
because that's a blind bid system every week.
But the difference is now you have that contract. So you have a $260 salary cap. So whatever I bid, which is going to end up being like $80, is going to be towards Scooble, a player that's not going to help me at all. I just don't care. I'm so mad about it in real life that I'm just going to get him in this league probably.
Did you like any of the AL East arms race moves? We mentioned Garcia Jr. from the Nationals. Red Sox went and got Adley Rutschman from the Orioles today. Rays got Liam Hicks from the Marlins.
Rutschman is interesting because I know it's a different situation now than it was, but like you think back to a couple of years ago, like Rutschman was going to be one of the cornerstones for the franchise rebirth.
I didn't realize he was a 3-time All-Star.
Yeah, and everybody's looking at he was kind of looked at as one of the pieces that is going to take the Orioles back to prominence, and now he's dealt within the division.
Yeah.
Kind of a weird one.
That's also one of the low-key big failures of recent years is the Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah.
That's insane. They had such an opportunity in a good young team, and they really did nothing to accelerate that process and kind of hope that everybody would just take natural steps forward. And then instead you end up having to ship off Rutschman, like you said, to Boston.
Yeah.
And by the way, too, because I think the common thread here, Orioles, Marlins, Nationals, screw all of those teams. None of them are more than 4.5 games out of a playoff spot. The Marlins are like 1.5 games out, not even.
Well, everyone in the
National League.
The Tigers just dealt off two of the best pitchers in the league at the deadline, and they're 2.5 games out right now, I think, of a playoff spot.
Yep.
Pretty wild.
I guess it gives credence to the fact that there is some conspiracy as to what's going on here.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
We also had some other news.
If
Go ahead.
Little Caesars Pizza was a little better, they could
make
sell
more
a little
money?
bit more and make more money.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to get to that. Yeah.
You know what they have you tried? Because I had we could do the entire rest of the show about my family reunion that took place.
Okay. Was it sponsored by?
It was not, but
C's?
We did order.
Okay.
Little Caesars, which is a tradition in the family because you're trying to support the Tigers.
Detroit. Okay. Oh my God.
So it's back in Detroit. That's what it is. They added like a new product.
Okay.
I say new. It could be years old. I don't usually get that type of I don't usually frequency establishment. It's like a mini deep dish type thing.
Oh, the little ones. Yeah.
I mean, there were some ordered. They actually weren't terrible.
Sure.
It was all right.
They look great. I don't think there's a pizza place that aesthetically looks more pleasing with the way that it browns its cheese.
You think
other
so?
than Little C's.
In terms of mass producing it, or like just in general?
It just looks good. It just looks. Every time I see a commercial, I'm like, I want one of those.
Yeah, that's not how it looks when you order it. They're not a sponsor of the show, right?
Coming up next, Adam,
Little Caesar Studio.
Adam was rushing into the studio, fresh from Raiders training camp, where we have good news and bad news. And I clicked on an article the other day, and I knew immediately that Adam Hill had written it before I even had to read a single word.
Now back to Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas.
JVT, Adam Hill in for Steve Cofield. I think he'll be back tomorrow. I don't know. I know I'm here on Thursday. That's all I know. Adam just came back from Raiders training camp day. What are we talking here?
5.
Okay.
5.
Sounds about right. It's football season.
Practice 5. Day 6.
Okay. Sounds about right. So everybody wants to know the prince that was promised, Fernando Mendoza, flawless, perfect, nary a mistake made on a football field. How's Fernando been doing?
Those terms would not be used to describe his progress so far.
Okay.
I thought the first day was his best day. The first day of camp, he started off okay. Today was first day of pads, so intensity changed a little bit. Yesterday was not his best day, and I think there are some factors. One being that they had taken a day off, like they went 3 days in a row, took a day off, and then yesterday came back, and we saw him not have his best day. I thought there was struggles in communication, struggles in organization, communication, all those things. There was some rough throws. I mean, he had Malik Benson, open down the middle on deep ball and just completely floated up in the air, allowed a defensive back to get back for it. Probably should have been a long touchdown. Really was. I mean, it was noticeably floating. Mm-hmm. Another, 3rd and 6 play where he threw, short of the sticks with not an opportunity to make a play and turn it up. It's little things, right? It's little things that it's not you don't see them happen in the games. You see them happen in games all the time, but these are things you have to learn. This is where you have to make your progress, and I think it's a good thing. I talked about this somewhere else, but I don't think you want to have every practice just go perfectly well. I mean, you're not challenging them. You're not learning anything. You're not growing. Mm-hmm. I thought they probably came out away from yesterday's practice oh, good. There's a lot of stuff to show them and say, hey, if you slip up at all, you got to do this. And then today, first 2 throws in 11 on 11 were just brutal. One, he would have laid, I believe, it was Jalen Naylor out. Jalen Naylor would have got hurt in a real game. Just completely let him into a safety. If it was live action, he just would have been blown up. And the next throw, he tried to force in a slant, just a throw that he shouldn't have made because it would have been another hospital ball essentially, but it wasn't even good enough to be that. It was just low and away, and it wasn't there. So struggled to start the day, and I think what you look for is that he bounced back from that. He had a good rest of the day, solid practice, closed strong. His last session was his best one. So I think you look at those as things as positives, right, where it's, all right, how do you bounce back from this? Mm-hmm. How does it how do you react when things don't go perfectly your way? And I think they're probably going to be pleased with how it went. However, Kirk Cousins has just been so steady and so good and so smooth throughout camp. You just look at this and say, oh, okay, I mean, that's the starting quarterback. That's the guy that's going to win the job. He's going to be the number one guy, and you're going to have some time for for Mendoza to learn behind him.
Can't be possible. We watched him awkwardly run in that one training camp video, so there's no way that's possible.
It's over. Well,
he's always been an athlete. What are you talking about?
Yes. It's an NFL quarterback.
Yeah. Has there been a common thread for Fernando Mendoza in terms of the things that he doesn't do well? Has there been something that he's consistently not done well, or has it just been little bits and pieces here and there?
No, I think there's been mistakes in all areas, really.
But not irredeemable mistakes.
No.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's
before everybody freaks out and somebody says, you're trashing him. No.
No, he's a rookie.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks like a rookie quarterback. I mean, this is what you expected. And there's kind of two options. I know I don't know how many people watched the clip the other day of the guys on the McAfee show going after Dan Orlovsky. And, they want – the majority of the guys on the show want him to start. They're just like, hey, just throw Mendoza out there, let him start. And Orlovsky is saying, just like he said going in the draft, he said he didn't think Mendoza was the best prospect in the draft. But he's saying now, he's like, no, you don't – like, why force this? You have Cousins, let him play. And they said, well, you just hate him. He said, no, I don't. He's like, I don't hate him. He's like, I just want him to be able to develop and have time. And he said, if you're, usually if you're, if you've got a rookie – if you went into the season, you might say, and I'm trying to remember the percentage he said, and as he was saying, he's like, I'm not giving a real percentage. I'm saying, let's just say, all right, the rookie can run 40% of our offense well. Like, do you want to put him out there? Like, you could, and just go run that 40%, see what you can do, figure it out. Or do you let him sit and wait till he knows 60, 70, 80% of the offense? And then, then it's like, okay, now you're a little bit more comfortable. You can go in there and see what happens. I mean, it's and I've looked back and there's been studies and I've looked back and tried to find a common thread. There's really not a common thread that says it's better to sit or it's better to play right away. There's really not. And for the most part, rookie quarterback's going to struggle. If you're Jaden Daniels, exception, I guess, but you're going to struggle. So is it better to struggle through that year or is it better to wait till you're fully ready? There's no real research that suggests either one is right.
That's why I always laugh at the thought of maybe benching a guy until they're ready or whatever it is, because I was giving my co-host Stormy Bonatoni crap for this last year when he came to Jackson Dart. And she was like, well, you got to sit him until he's ready. And I was like, well, what does that mean? Right? I don't think at the time, Brian Dable walks into the building one day and then stops and looks back at Dart. He's like, hey, man, you look a little different. I think you might be ready.
I see. It's a spark in
yeah, there's something different about your aura today.
Yeah.
I think you're ready to go.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. There is no perfect science, but if Kirk's done, you said Kirk's done relatively well.
Yeah,
I would assume, right?
Great.
This is a system that maximizes quarterbacks anyway. So if you have a professional quarterback who is somewhat familiar with the scheme in general, and you'll be able to bring him up to speed pretty quickly.
The issues are, and the team shouldn't care about this, obviously. You see it with fans, right? Where it's like, and I made the statement. I think it was on this show and another one during the summer. I think the fans would be mad if they make the playoffs with Kirk Cousins.
I don't know if they'd be mad, but I understand your your logic.
And you watch practice, and the fans are out there today at practice, and it was definitely a different competitive level. And you go through the 11 on 11s, and Kirk Cousins makes 4 perfect throws in a row, move the ball down the field, they're great. And then now it's time for Mendoza's reps, and the whole crowd's like, yeah,
hands it off, and he's
and like what? And then he throws a little drop off. Yeah, there you go, and you're like. Where was there no support for Cousins?
You're right, because it's the excitement. Well, and it's funny because even national pundits I was listening to, and I think she does a great job. I listen to her podcast all the time. But I was listening to Mina Kimes' AFC West preview, and her whole talking point about the offense was around Fernando Mendoza, and I can't remember who the guy she had on, but he kept saying, he's like, I don't think they want him to play.
Yeah, they don't.
We don't need to talk about that because by the time he plays, maybe it's the last month. They don't want him. Which, by the way, speaks to also the Rookie of the Year betting odds are insane. He's the second choice on the board for Fernando Mendoza to win it. Wow. I don't think he's going to see the field until late November at best.
Yeah.
Or obviously, catastrophic injury, things like that. That those things could happen. But if things go the Raiders' way, am I out of line if I say they would be happy if he didn't play a single snap this year?
Yeah, I think, and if you're looking at the bye week, right, like week 13, which is very late in the season, but that's a good one. But if you look at who they're playing, even, I don't think you'd want to throw them out there. The schedule, especially with the defenses, is brutal. Mm-hmm. And I think you could look at it and say, why would we want to put him out there for, and I think I'm looking starting like October 11th, versus the Chiefs. This is October 4th starting. Versus Chiefs, at Patriots, versus Bills, versus Rams. They're at Jets, but at 49ers, versus Seahawks, at Broncos, at Browns, who lost Garrett. But, I mean, there's a couple easy spots in there, but you want your rookie quarterback enduring that stretch? Like, that's crazy. Now, he's going to learn a lot from it for sure, but where's his confidence going to be? Like, there's a lot there. But if you look after the bye, they do have the Chargers and Broncos, but they've got, Tennessee and Arizona. Like, that'd be kind of nice to, ease them in a little bit. Like, there are those spots, but I think you let Cousins deal with the first half of the schedule, which is fairly brutal.
All right, we'll get back to the Raiders a little bit later. Jesse Merrick's going to join us in the second hour. We'll have to play Kubiak's wonderful quote about turds, apparently. But on the other side, Steve Kim's going to join us. It sounds like we have a location for Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury and a little bit more.
It's Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas.
JVT, Adam Hill in for Steve Cofield. Be back later this week. Very fun and active Major League Baseball trade deadline. Big news, of course, Terry Skubal over the weekend heading over to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Did have an interesting quote because they will be taking on the Chicago Cubs this week, and was in the clubhouse today, said, I'm paraphrasing, but doesn't feel bad that all these teams had an opportunity to trade for him, and he does not feel anything for those that decided not to. Let's head out to the phone line. Welcome in Steve Kim with us. 3 Knockdown Rule podcast. You can also check out the Substack at Steve Kim Boxing. Steve, appreciate it. Thank you for the time. You and I haven't talked a ton. I don't know. Are you big on baseball? Did you have fun with this trade deadline? Was there anything outside of Skubal that you liked?
I'll be honest with you. I haven't watched baseball in about 30 years.
Okay.
I'm the wrong guy to have on. I get the Dodgers spent more money. Good for them. I don't know what else to say except Dodger dogs are probably being like $35 a pop now, right? That's what I'm assuming.
Well, speaking of Dodger dogs, I mean, you're not a baseball guy, but what was this video I watched of Mario Lopez putting up, an AI video of him with his niece out of the Dodger game? Did you see this?
Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm not commenting on it, guys.
Okay. All right, we'll move on. Let me ask you this, then, generally in sports, because the Dodgers are now peak villain for people who I think don't understand the dynamics of baseball. Are villains in sports generally good for the product?
Yes, if you could beat them once in a while. And that's why I'm not really a Dodger fan, even though I reside in L.A. I think it was fun. I think Toronto Blue Jays were this close to being America's team if they would have been able to close that game out in the 9th inning back in, what was it, November 1st. Yeah. But, I think dynasties have been respected in the past when there was at least the guise of a level playing field, right? Although, I think baseball historians will tell you that the Yankees probably had advantages throughout the, dynastic runs they had, 70, 80 years ago. And then maybe even through the Steinbrenner era. They spent a lot of money. But it almost seems like it's too one-sided in terms of the financial advantages that baseball has currently that the Dodgers are exploiting. In my view, is this. During the next collective bargaining agreement, I don't know when that comes out, that's when the owners can kind of try to at least have some sort of attempt to level the playing field for as much as they can do it.
Yeah, that is the big talking point here. CBA is set to expire, and a large expectation is that next year we will not have baseball because this will be a debate and a negotiation that will last for a very long time. Steve Kim with us here. And you, as a fan, you rooted for a villain. Not that you don't anymore, but I don't think the Miami Hurricanes are as much of a villain anymore. But at a time, I would say they were they not? So from a fan's perspective, it is somewhat enjoyable to be the bad guy, I would assume.
Yeah, that really comes with being good. There's never been a villain that didn't win. I think, the thing with Miami was probably more or less their comportment, and certain people didn't think that they were sportsmanlike enough. I think fans can actually live with that. What I don't think that the fans really like, and this can actually erode the fan base of a lot of different cities, right? If you are a Major League Baseball fan that's not a Dodger aficionado, you want to at least have some sort of hope in spring training and think, hey, maybe if we have a great year, maybe if we play above our expectations, we might have a chance to be a Cinderella story. The problem is with the way things are constructed and the way the Dodgers have gone all in, and then they go all in every year, it's almost like 25 teams right off the bat. From the day spring training starts, it's done. It's over. Mm-hmm. Like there is no Cinderella story. There's not going to be a happy ending. And then if your team struggles out of the gate, by mid-May, you're just kind of playing out the string. When I followed baseball, there was a theory that at least half the teams going into the All-Star break were still in the pennant race. And there were very few years where you kind of knew one team is that much better or that much loaded than everybody else. And I think that is the issue. I think when it comes to, with Duke basketball, they're always able, at least during the Krzyzewski era, able to attract the best players. There was always at least 6 or 7 other programs that could kind of stay with them. I'm not so sure that really exists in baseball right now.
So along the line of villains, could I say that the entity of boxing is a villain because I think they keep getting these things wrong. I guess, though, maybe this is the right way to do this. Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, two red-blooded Americans fighting in New York, correct?
Yeah, and someone said, hey, well, why don't we just have the Super Bowl in Wembley Stadium? I don't – look, this is the reality, and I spoke about this on the 3 knockdown rule with Mario yesterday. Eddie Hearn is trying to shirk responsibility as the promoter of Anthony Joshua, who developed that career. Frank Warren represents Tyson Fury. Here's the reality, guys. Do I think that both of them want this fight in Britain? Yes, they do, because that is their main constituents. That is their core fan base that they have to serve 12 months out of the year for the most part. But once they started cutting deals with other entities who in essence overfinanced these fights to an exorbitant level where the fighters would say, hey, that's the deal that we're taking, guess what happens, guys? They lost control. They lost control of it. And if they were the ones promoting this, and then they should have made this fight about 3, 4, 5 years ago, there was no Turkey Al Sheikh back then. So once again, do I feel bad for the British boxing fans? Yes. But do I think they ever really had a shot at this fight as soon as it went into other parties in terms of the power and the control of the purse strings? No, I do not.
Should I be excited for Joshua because of the fact that he was able to rally and win that second round, or
no,
look at the first round and say, what was that?
Yeah, look, this fight is built on nostalgia, and what you thought was two very large, sizable fan bases in the UK. And I don't know the exact date of this fight, but I'm assuming it'll be sometime in the fall. Guys, can we be honest? Starting today with all the training camps opening, right? Miami, my team, they're opening up fall camp tomorrow. It is now football season. Mm-hmm. Everything else takes a backseat to the game of American tackle football. You know, I hear people saying, hey, Steve, how excited are you about the Conor Ben Ryan Garcia fight? And I'm honest. I say I'm excited. I'm curious, but I'm probably more interested in Ohio State, Texas that day. That is the reality.
All right, so we've seen now over the weekend, I think this was William Zepeda who beat Roach. So what do you think is next here for William?
First of all, I was out at that fight. Very good fight, dominant performance. It was thought to be a 50-50 proposition. You know, I really don't know what's going on with Zepeda. The fight I'd like to see is a unification bout with Abdullah Mason, who just recently won his title last November, made a very good defense about 5 weeks ago in Cleveland. I don't know if the finances can actually work on that fight, but I would hope that William Zepeda gets some of the other belt holders at 35. He has a very, very television-friendly action style, and he's the type of guy that you could put him in with almost anybody, and it would be a very good night of action.
For somebody like me who enjoys combat sports but doesn't watch boxing enough, is he the name that I should really start to look into as somebody I could really look forward to watching in the future?
Yeah, I guess, but here's the problem. All these guys fight once or twice a year. This is the system they created. I don't know if there's anyone worth following after Canelo retires, Crawford's retired, Usyk's at the end, and Inoue is at the end. After that generation goes into the next level of their lives, their next stage, I don't know how many stars we're creating. These guys don't fight enough unless you overpay them, and so that limits their exposure. And there's still politics involved. Like Tank Davis, I think is a very exciting fighter. You know, guys, Tank Davis has not fought since last March. So, there's a part of me, I don't want to be overly cynical, but my job is to be honest. I don't know, regardless of who is involved in the sport, whether it's Dana White, Ari Emanuel, and that whole conglomerate, until you can get your marquee fighters, or at least your younger champions, to fight more and build a following, I don't know if this is really fixable.
Steve Kim 323 up on X. Check out the Substack at Steve Kim Boxing and the 3 Knockdown Rule podcast. Steve, we're up against it, but thanks a lot for the time today, sir.
Absolutely. Have a great week, guys.
You got it. They did ask the question, too. What would you rather have, $1 billion or 100 years with no aging? And I think there's one simple answer to that, but I can't answer it.
It's Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas and ESPN Reno.
Second hour, welcome into our neighbors in the north in Reno. Jonathan Von Tobel, Adam Hill with you here today. Steve Cofield is out. May or may not have been fired.
We're going back to this old gag.
Don't know yet. We might do such a great job today that they make this permanent. Who knows? No?
No.
You would not be down with that?
No.
I think we'd make a good national team.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But there would be, it would literally just be chaos every day.
It is true, which is a perfect setup for what we're going to talk about here at the Big Four.
Battleborn Injury Lawyers presents The Big Four at 4. Number 4.
I feel like some version of this question has been asked many times, and I don't know if we have really settled in or discussed this. So for our audience, tonight, I get to have a fancy dinner.
You do.
I'm going to go to a steakhouse for a meal that will be paid for because I won a bet with my co-host, Stormy Bonatoni, over on 12:30 The Game on VSIN. Now, to give Stormathy some credit, she has been adamant about paying this debt off. In fact, today, it was originally scheduled for a 5:30 reservation. I forgot that I had to do the show. I told her, texted her yesterday, said, hey, look, forgot I had local. Like, don't worry about it. She's like, reschedule the reservation for 6:30. It's like, okay.
Wow.
So the question is, how bad do I screw Stormy over with what I ordered tonight?
I don't.
The
you
bet
don't go. I know, but you don't just go like, oh, give me 4 seafood towers. Like, you don't do something like that.
The only thing I was going to do was there's a $300 steak.
But that's not what you would normally order, right?
Of course not.
I just think you go with what you would normally order. Like, you don't hold back. Like, you don't go and
Okay,
say,
but those two things, what are those two things? Like, I don't understand what that means.
Like, you wouldn't go in and say, like, I know where you're going. There's some really good stuff.
Yeah, there is.
I love that place. You wouldn't go in and say, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and get the Caesar salad.
Right. Okay.
You don't do that.
Yeah.
Because, like, that's kind of defeating the whole point.
Sure.
You could have just gone to a cheaper place and got the whatever. But I also don't think you go with something that you would never get.
The $300. Technically, it's $299.
Right. And I know what and I actually have tried it.
Tomahawk.
I haven't ordered it myself, but I've tried it.
Is it good?
It's good, dude. It's really good.
What if I offer to take a third of the price and still order it? Like a third of the steak. She covers everything else. I'm just going to throw down 100. So essentially, I'm getting that thing, but at somewhat of a discount.
You're like, I'm going to let you pay 200 of my.
Yeah, $300 steak.
You're gonna get sides and stuff too.
Yeah, I am.
I mean, you're.
You know what's funny is the only thing I want really is this place has killer Brussels sprouts.
They do. They're good.
But it's fun. Like I said, I'll give her credit. I showed her a picture today while we were doing our show of the chocolate cake they have there, and I was like, I'm gonna get this. And I said it joking. She's like, you better. So like she's like, I'm being offered. I think you're right though.
Here's also
like
my
one
suspicion.
extra side maybe.
Here's my suspicion. Not suspicion. I'm not. This is not an accusation.
Sounds like an accusation.
Well, here's the thing.
She also knows me.
She knows you.
Knows how we really.
She also. I know she is all about paying off her debts.
Sure.
Like I know she's very. I'm sure that she is like, hey, I owe this.
Mm-hmm.
So like, let's go. And she's not hurting, so she's fine.
Yeah.
Like,
I've hung out at her place.
Are we sure? Are we sure she doesn't have a comp?
Ooh, that's a good. You know what? I didn't think about that because that's actually a great point. I want to curse right now.
I bet she does.
And is she going to play dirty?
She's famous.
And is she going to? Well, she not only that. She actually because the reason why that's a great point.
I know she does advertising for the place.
They just released like 2 different videos of her.
I know
at the place.
I've seen them. They're great.
And you know what? Yeah, that's a. And you know what? Because while she's down with paying debts, she's deceiving enough to leave that detail out.
Yeah.
And then afterwards tell me, oh, by the way, it's all comped. You're fine.
Yeah. I'd be willing
now I need to get the $300
Oh, if
steak.
it's comped, you're getting the $300 steak.
I need to ask. I need to find out. If it's comped, I'm getting my tomahawk.
Yeah, I bet you it is.
Oh, okay. Now it's on.
Especially, it's not like for I know.
Yeah.
She's not.
Actually, it might not be comped. Only because she made a reservation for 4. It's only going to be me, her husband, and her. We're looking for a 4th, but the fourth would be on they would have to fend for themselves. Ooh. So I don't think it would be a comp. Because if it was comped, I feel like she would, with aplomb, invite anybody to fill that fourth seat.
Unless it's a certain amount comped, and she's like, it might go over.
Okay.
So
been there before.
Make sure the person knows.
Okay.
If it's over.
Yeah.
Because you had mentioned to me, and I'm like, I'm not just throwing down $200 on a random Monday night for a dinner. Even though I do love the place.
Dropping the bucket, dog.
Number 3.
If it is comp, let me know.
Oh, you gotta hustle down.
Yeah.
The whole point is I have a good dynamic with Stormy. I don't want to start a fight.
No.
Much like the one that we saw in the Mexican League the other day.
Bro.
So hold on. We can't really set this up properly. We need the people that were there. Let's hear the play-by-play, James, please.
Al primer picheo el contacto a terrenos del Tornillo, que no puede quedarse con ella de primera, después se entrega con Félix, regresa, ¡epa! Y wow, hay golpes ahí por parte de Danry Vázquez y el Tornillo Amador, salta todo el mundo, cuidado. Hay un show grande en el terreno de juego del Toros Mobile Park.
Y golpes.
No se hablaron mucho, A la primera llegaron los golpes.
Bueno, lo que sí veo es a un Danry Vázquez que está también por allá, Donis Medina. Algunos de los jugadores están recibiendo y otros también están tratando de...
All right, now that the scene has been set, you need to give no other details. Everybody now understands exactly what happened.
Well, I do. I've been learning a lot of Spanish lately.
You have?
Better. Yeah. I'm a lot better. I mean, I will say, I showed a lot of people this at Raiders practice today, this video, and I would not set it up at all. I was like, look how crazy this rundown gets. Because essentially what it is a rundown between third base and home, and the runner does not like how he's tagged.
Right. So he just swings.
Goes 1-2, just lays out the third baseman.
Yeah.
I mean, violently lays out the third baseman and sparks a really good brawl.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much did you
follow
through.
Oh, I watched it.
I mean, the brawl, it got good.
Yeah.
He got clotheslined.
This was not some wimpy American baseball fight.
There's 30 kicks that are landed in this fight. It's good.
It's probably arguably it's one of the best baseball fights of all time.
I think it is. And it just randomly happened. And by the way, that's the team that Justin Turner plays for.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. So I was trying to find him. I was trying to find him out there. He's got to be out there somewhere. The team that threw the original punch, that's his team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Is this why we were watching? I assume you were watching because now that you're fluent in Spanish, you just tuned in. Watch Mexican League baseball.
I was tuned in. I was actually watching Liga MX yesterday. I was watching soccer from Mexico. Not
we all know what Liga MX is.
I'm sorry. Well, not everybody.
I'm big on that America Chivas rival.
It's MX, but
yeah, MX, whatever.
Yeah.
Liga MX.
But I was not watching that game. I have been to a game in the stadium.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's awesome.
Wait, this one?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Concessions are great. It's a great time.
I've always wanted. I need to experience concessions in other countries.
You have to do one thing.
What's the other country? Yeah, I know. I have to get my passport. Yeah. What's the American equivalent of popcorn? I guess, do they serve palomitas?
Bro, and they pour the hot sauce in it too.
Yeah,
they're just pouring the hot sauce in the chips, like the potato chips, just hot sauce everywhere.
It's hot sauce on everything.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, beer is the real answer.
Number 2.
Now, I'm not a leader per se.
Okay.
But I'm leading this show. I feel like I'm doing a good job. You guys are rallying around me, feeding off of my energy. Right? It's hard to be a leader. It really is. Steve Cofield, leader of men. Just oozes energy every time he walks into this room.
Does he?
Never really walks in just a quiet, harumphy mood and sucks all of the happiness out of it immediately when he steps in. He's always here, always ready to go. Much like John Harbaugh was the other day.
Is that how you saw it?
When he got in front of the New York Giants for the first time. You know what? I'm not going to let you misrepresent this. Let's hear John fire up the New York Giants.
Welcome, man. Good to see everybody here. You excited?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
a little nervous?
Nope.
Huh? A little nervous? A little nervous, man. Nervous? Excited nervous, Nervous like before a game almost, man. It's like, good to say kick off. Standing up here in front of the New York Giants. The New York Giants. This is a New York Giants sitting in this room. The New York Giants. Wow. It's an honor. It's an honor to stand in front of this room right now. I know those coaches back there feel the same way, right, coaches? It's an honor, man. We've been working, haven't we? We've been working early and real late getting ready for today. Today. Sitting in this chair, this seat, getting to work, getting started, our beginning. Because this is where it all begins. Together.
Can I tell you my favorite part about that? Is the very beginning. You nervous? Someone's like, no.
I like when he's like, how about you, coach? He's like, yeah, I guess.
That's good. I'm ready to run through a wall for John Harbaugh.
Well, you agree with Tiki Barber then?
The New York Giants.
I mean, this has been like the most universally mocked speech in the NFL since like, I don't know, like playoffs? Like since that.
Was Eat a W was widely mocked.
Sure.
From Jameis.
Sure.
You know what that is? It's a W. I'm going to eat it.
But Jameis is just a unique category unto his own. This is just.
What are you talking about? New York Giants legend Tiki Barber all in on this, correct?
Yeah, he's like, it's great. Loved it.
Need that kind of energy in the building for the New York Giants.
No,
New York Giants.
This had to be sarcastic.
I just don't know why he didn't prepare more. Because he very clearly didn't know what he was going. He very clearly thought he could go in there and free ball that thing. And he did not do well.
The New York Giants.
I feel like I could do an inspirational speech like off the cuff pretty easy. I mean, go.
Let's go. What do you got?
Okay, hold on. What are we getting motivated for?
For the next hour.
Hey, guys.
No, I'm already out.
Okay, all right. Let's reset. You know where we are right now?
Where?
We're in the Findlay Toyota Studios. We get to talk to the entirety of the Vegas Valley. You got people listening. They're driving. They're taking time out of their day. They can listen to Spotify. They can listen to music. Hell, they can listen to Comp next door. But no, they're listening to you. So you feel that thing beating in your chest right now? That's your heart. And you start putting that into this broadcast because these people right now, they're taking their time. So take that energy and put it toward the people that are putting their energy toward you.
It's actually better than Harbaugh.
Let's go.
Should play that for Tiki. See what he thinks.
See?
I'm ready.
Is that right?
It sucks we have to go to break. I'm ready to talk about
and
some
with
stuff.
That, and with that, we'll be... Actually, we are. We have to go to break. Oh, 30 seconds. Okay, see, we have time.
All right.
It's all about the way you say it. By the way, I stole that line. You remember the intro to Madden 04?
Thing
beating your doggone chest? It was Brian Dawkins in the intro to like Madden 04.
I knew I'd remembered it. I couldn't place it. This is exactly
you
what
feel that thing. Beating your doggone chest.
Right before you called hot routes and trash somebody down the field. It's good.
Speaking of football, I got to talk to Dan Mullen. He looked me in the eye last night. Late night broadcast, you want to be football?
Did you give him one of those?
We connected.
Hi.
It's Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas and ESPN Reno.
JVT, Adam Hill here with you today. Cofield and Company. Cofield back later this week. You want to be football? Practice is underway for fall camp. We're getting closer and closer to the first game against Memphis. A lot of fun stuff going down. Everybody excited about the quarterbacks, which we'll get to here in a moment. It's always what people are talking about. But I got to say, yesterday, Adam, because I know we were texting yesterday. I told you I was going to go down because I'm a good company, man. Got to make sure we cover every single angle. You were at the Raiders camp. I was at UNLV yesterday. Defense really stood out. And I have to say, I really like, and I wanted to ask you about this because I don't really get to go to a lot of practice environments given my main job. But when I do, I like to watch player interactions a lot.
Sure.
That defense was talking a lot last night. Yeah. It was great. And I'm not like, and look, sure, there was like cursing and jawing and going at each other with the offense and the defense. I think that's largely expected. You're competing. It's hot. You're doing a physical activity. I don't think there's anything negative about it. But boy, did I enjoy that. I would assume our professionals do the same.
Yeah. Pretty much exactly, especially one in particular.
Okay.
But yeah, it's part of the competitive process and everything else. And I think you'd like to see it. And I thought, I was hoping to get down there last night. I wasn't able to, but I believe Dan Mullen was asked, and I don't know if this is a part of what we're going to hear, but just about where the defense is as compared to where they were last year.
That was my question.
Yeah,
it was a really good one. Here was Dan Mullen when I asked, because that was a big thing, because I do want to build on that, because one of the big things that Adam refers to, for many of you who know, but those who don't, Paul Gunther takes over late as defensive coordinator last season. It was right around or right at the start of the spring game, like a day before.
Yeah.
And a lot of the topic was, hey, we didn't really get to install, but we wanted to install all throughout the year, maybe part of the reason why we struggled. So I asked Dan Mullen last night about where he feels this defense is at in comparison to where it was last year.
Oh, we're way, way, way ahead. Obviously, I think, Paul's a lot more comfortable with the, college game and how the college players learn and process and install things. We have an idea of what guys can do, and and obviously they've a lot of these guys coming back. When you're looking at having some defensive linemen that have played and some secondary guys that have played. This is their second year in the system instead of kind of we didn't even have a spring with it last year. So they're way, way ahead.
Do you buy that? Hey, I had to take over right at the start of spring. I didn't get to really install what I wanted, and that was one of the reasons that we struggled the way we did.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, everything was new also. Like, you thought you were going to go one way defensively, you go another way, not last minute, but kind of, pretty late in the process. And I think you saw it on the field. Like, there were times communication breakdowns and other things were very evident. Despite the success the team had, like there was moments where like the defense was not what it maybe could have been and what we thought the sum of the parts was going to be, because there were some pretty good players defensively. There were some letdowns, especially on deep balls in the secondary that maybe would have been a little bit different if they had more time.
Now, I don't think this is a reflection on the offense, but I will say that last night in the final team session, 3 interceptions for the defense. I counted at least 2 dropped picks in watching it as well, but super aggressive, really physical. And I think it spoke more to where this defense is at more so than the offense and the quarterback struggling. And we'll be fair, too. I think at least one of the picks and one of the dropped interceptions was like third-string offense versus third or fourth-string defense. So it just speaks to, I think, where they're at, feeling a little bit more comfortable. But it's one of many storylines for this team. The other is, with the Friday ruling, this gets to be an interesting time now for a lot of these college football teams, but specifically UNLV. UNLV's got a couple of irons in the fire, we'll call it, when it comes to what's going on with some of these players in eligibility. We know that defensive lineman Cohen Fuller has a pending suit in the Nevada U.S. District Court. And then we get Friday's ruling about the eligibility of some of these guys. That's eligibility dried up in 2025, and that is among them LaTerrence Welch or Donovan Spellman, who were both part of this defense last year. Here was Mullen on just that process last night. What's going on with Fuller and what they could potentially do with Welch or Spellman?
Well, I think he's got another hearing personally for him, but he's according to the courts. According to the courts, he's eligible. So he's been working, waiting for that. Listen, it's the right thing to do. There's, I guess, a kid named like Pavia kid last year is in the exact same situation he's in. So I don't know why the NCAA would favor one kid over another. That would seem like kind of a bias. There's chance. So, we'll look at how those guys, where they're at, what their interests are, how the ruling, where they're within what they're doing, to see, how they would fit on the roster.
The big takeaway for me is that he did not know who Diego Pavia was.
Yeah, he did.
That Pavia kid?
He did. He knew who it was. An SEC guy.
Yeah. The Pavia kid. Well, either way, that would be huge. You're talking about 3 potential, what do we talk, like 3 key rotational pieces that you could add to this defense? Like right back in? Let's go.
Sure. And for those that aren't really following, it's the class of 22 suit basically where a blanket ruling was essentially made. Now, the NCAA is going to fight it, but a blanket ruling was essentially made the other day. If you're a high school class of 2022, you're eligible.
Yeah.
Whether you just played 4 years and your eligibility is technically gone, whoever you are, no matter what you did, 2022 class for high school players is now eligible for this season, which a lot of them assume this is going to happen. They're already kind of on teams, practicing, hoping. Other guys were just kind of like, I guess my eligibility's over. Not anymore. And I think this will be bigger in basketball where some guys thought they were done. Now all of a sudden they're going to start scrambling to find schools.
Well, the weight of a returning player for basketball obviously means so much more when you're talking about 5 guys on the court at once for a team.
Yeah.
You know,
but I mean, there's a little more time now. I think
Sure,
there's guys that thought their football careers were over who probably haven't been doing anything the last couple of months who now just found out they're eligible.
Mm-hmm.
And will they be able to get back in shape and find a school? And I don't know, but they can. It'll be wild to see if some teams pick up some guys real late here. Who just didn't think they'd be able to play football ever again.
I think we're still potentially holding out hope UNLV for Howie Fleming, no?
Yeah.
To potentially come back.
Well, now?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's 22, but
yeah, I don't believe he was, but with all of these challenges and what you're at.
Yeah.
And it seems the NCAA is over in every single one of these legal challenges.
I don't think they've ever won.
But for UNLV football, could be awesome. And you do wonder, what attrition, we'll call it, on the roster takes place when you're talking about adding, because that's the part about it which we don't talk about. If you're potentially adding, 2 or 3 bodies to a roster, what happens on the back end? What's that attrition? Who's going to be there? But I actually thought, I hate to say it, what's the meme? Like the worst guy you know actually makes a good point or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Danny Cannell brought this up on CBS Sports, which was just like, hey, man, you wanted to professionalize this.
Look, I don't like Danny Cannell either.
What?
He's not the worst guy we know.
I know.
There's plenty of worse guys.
But it's just one of those guys where it's like, I agree with Danny Cannell, but he brought up the point, which is just like, look, if you wanted to professionalize this, part of that is, guess what? We're going to bring in some more talented guys, and your job might be up.
Well, didn't this happen to you in NCAA?
Yes, of course. I got my road to glory quarterback, which I decided to take the offer to Mizzou, and then I got thrust into a starting gig near the end of the year because the starter got injured, and I was given no help whatsoever from my offensive line. And then my coach told me at the end of the season that I should hit the portal.
Did you?
I did, but Maryland offered me a starting job, and now we're 5-1 with you're not going to like this. Wins over number 5 Michigan on the road.
Doesn't seem likely.
And number 11 LSU. So
that's a good start.
Very good start. Rutgers at home. Little inconsistent.
That's not good.
Little inconsistent. My play, though, as quarterback for the Terps has been fantastic. People are hoping, obviously, here in Vegas that the quarterback play for the Rebels will be the same. Mullen talked about this. First off, so this is 2 separate cuts. You're going to hear him talk about his process and also the value of practice. Listen to what he says when asked about the quarterback battle to begin with.
Yeah, they're battling. They're doing a good job battling. We'll see. Again, that'd be something I won't. I'll have an idea before kickoff on game day of who will be the quarterbacks. No, I would. This practice is where you can see what you can do. Practice where you put the pressure on yourself to see what you can do and see what you can get away with and see where you're good or bad. And hey, I want to see you put a lot on the line in practice, and then I'd rather say, whoa than sick them. So, I want them to try to push themselves and then me say, hey, this is what we're going to do, and I think this is where your best area is. We're going to focus on that way.
My observation, I thought Jackson Arnold led a little bit more of a consistent effort, generated some explosives. I don't think this will surprise you or anybody else to hear who's followed his career. Alex Orji was pretty good at throwing the ball downfield.
Sure.
And generating some big plays.
Okay.
But
how's his athleticism?
It was a little bit on display.
Okay.
Yep, athleticism is pretty good. I did think, and now, again, for the most part, observationally, it seemed like Jackson yesterday was running with the 2s and Orji was running with the 1s. But from what I gather, because I'll say this is my first time I got to practice, they've been switching that up, so that's not an indication of anything. But it seemed that Arnold was getting a little bit more consistency out of the times that he was in control of the offense, from my observations.
There's probably very few bigger Alex Orji fans than I out there.
By the way, I've met him once and talked to him once. You can count me among them.
Phenomenal human being.
He's great.
I would be surprised if he started. Mm-hmm. But I think he'll be a big part of the team.
What do you think? We can expand on this a little bit later. I was talking to some of the gathered media yesterday. I don't know if we're putting into perspective well enough how hard their schedule is. Seriously, to start.
No, I know.
You're playing. You get Memphis, not in this order. You get Hawaii. You got a lot of travel. Akron. I'm forgetting a road game in there.
I think 8-4 would be a good year. I think 9-3 would be a great year. But like you see, prognostications all over the place for 11-1, and inside track to playoff, which would be great. Yeah. But I think that you're, the issue for a lot of people, maybe nationally, even maybe locally, as you're looking at the schedule, is like it doesn't. There's not like a bunch of heavy hitters on there necessarily. You're not like you don't have like your schedule of Michigan and LSU, but there's no like easy games on there at all.
They have Cal. That was a game of the year over at the South Point. Cal opened up as a 2.5-point dog here, got bet to 1. And then Nevada took some action at the window too. Opened 18.5 down to 15.
Not worried about that.
Not worried about it at all. When we come back, the worst national anthem I think you've ever heard in your life.
It's Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas and ESPN Reno.
Coming up in about 10 minutes, check in with Jason Merrick, Silver and Black Network, get a little bit more into what camp has been like for the Las Vegas Raiders and some of the struggles for Fernando Mendoza. I believe Adam Hill has labeled him a bust already.
Yeah, it's official.
Yeah, it's all over. Just a couple of practices in.
Fernando Mendoza is the football-playing version of whatever anthem we're about to listen to.
Yeah, I was trying to think of some natural segue. I was going to go with like
he's not. I'm just
football is very competitive, and I think I just witnessed the first competitive anthem singing ever. So you'll have to set this up because I guess this woman who we're about to hear is a name, and I don't say that insultingly.
She's a Motown legend.
Okay, I don't say that. I don't mean to come off as insulting. I'm not good with music.
The Motown era was a long time ago.
I mean, very clearly. So we have a national anthem here. Martha Reeves is her name. It was the WPBL debut. The WPBL is the
Women's Professional Baseball League.
Women's Professional Baseball League.
I think this is the reincarnation of League of Their Own.
Okay. All right. I understand some of the vibes now because to set this up, you're going to hear 3 singers in general. You'll know who we're talking about when you hear this. But the setup is, the reason why I call this competitive is there's 2 women who are sharing a mic together.
Sure.
And then there is the star of the show, Martha Reeves, and they're like singing at each other.
Yeah.
And at one point, the duo just kind of gives up and goes, Martha, just take it. And I think
they were like, I don't want to be part of this anymore.
They saw the writing on the wall. Everybody stand up and take your hats off. Here we go.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
I'm just gonna say for the record, I don't think we had to play the whole thing. I mean, look, Martha had a great career.
Creative license when Steve's not here. I decided to play the whole thing.
I felt bad, and I very rarely feel bad. That wasn't easy for anyone.
Did she think she killed it when it was over?
I don't want to speak from – I mean, I don't want to speak for Martha and what she thought. I can't imagine that she thought it went well.
Hey, man, I couldn't do it.
I have often said, we know somebody that we have worked with in the past that sometimes was fine, sometimes was not great. Some, whatever. They had good shows, bad shows, whatever. And literally every time they did a show, it would be like, I crushed it. Meanwhile, I, have had good shows, bad shows, everything, and every show, every single show, I've always said like, I don't know why anybody lets me do this. It's every time I write a story, I don't know why anybody lets me do this. Like I'm terrible. I think that Martha could not have possibly thought that she, I crushed this. I think that there'd be there's, but you know what? I'll push back on my own thing here because she did really try for the strong finish.
It's Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas and ESPN Reno.
I think we just have a professional group of players. They care about getting better. We don't have any turds. We got guys that want to be here, that want to win, that want to change this place. And so I'm really happy with that.
No turds here on Cofield and Company either. I think.
I don't know what we just listened to.
What do you mean?
I mean, I wouldn't categorize it as something positive.
Clint Kubiak, head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders.
I didn't mean Clint Kubiak's
okay.
answer. I meant whatever that last segment happened.
Some would argue that national anthem was a turd.
I mean, it wasn't good.
Can we load that? You have that ready? The national anthem. Jesse Merrick's with us here. Jesse, please listen to. I won't play the whole thing again.
I was going to say I need to hear whatever you guys are talking about.
Please listen to this national anthem, and you deem whether or not this is turd worthy.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight?
Adam's out. You also listened to Jesse, what do we think?
Well, yeah, okay, look, I love America. This is no comment on the great United States of America, but that's definitely turd-worthy right there.
Some would argue it's a crime.
Yeah, they should be locked up for that. Where was that? I haven't seen that. Where was that from?
It was the first women's professional baseball league game, the inaugural game. Now, to be fair, now you're going to feel bad. I'm going to make you feel bad, maybe.
Thanks.
She is a Motown legend. But Motown is a long time ago.
No!
Why did they let her do this?
We have a statement from her.
Oh, she made a statement.
Oh no! It's bad when you got to release a statement. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Having just celebrated my 85th birthday, I've learned a great deal over more than 60 years of performing live. It was an incredible honor to be invited to perform at the inaugural Women's Professional Baseball League event and to help celebrate such a historic moment for women in sports. I wouldn't have missed it for the world. The field conditions.
Oh, stop.
No.
were wet and windy. And without stage monitors, I wasn't able to hear myself as I normally would. While it wasn't the performance I had hoped for, I'm grateful to have been there in support of these remarkable athletes in their groundbreaking league. Field conditions.
I feel bad.
Come on. That's a field condition?
Field conditions.
That's wild.
Not great.
That is wild.
Were field conditions the reason why, from what I understand, Fernando Mendoza stunk the other day?
Okay, so to be fair, I was out of town. I didn't get a chance to see it on Sunday, so I'll have to defer to Adam on that. But who knows? Maybe it was the field conditions. The wind wasn't moving in the right direction. I don't know. That we'll see if he uses that next time he steps up to the podium. Or maybe when he is playing, if he throws a pick or something, like the field conditions. I just couldn't.
I think he'd be better singing the anthem than her.
I think he might. I think we might have to make that happen at some point, maybe in the off season, because Kubiak wouldn't let that happen right now.
No, for sure not. Well, you have seen Mendoza, so it's almost better to even ask you. You're not poisoned by the one really really bad day. What has been your impressions of Fernando Mendoza in general, watching him these first couple of days of training camp?
Yeah, my thing, honestly, is he's looked like a rookie, and I don't mean that in a bad way. He's going through the ups and downs of learning how to be a pro, and responding to the quote-unquote adversity, if you will, at practice and things like that. Even today, the first team session, I think they were doing the first 3 downs, whatever, and, he went 0 for 2, struggled, and it was uh-oh, and I had heard everything that happened on Sunday, so I'm thinking, okay, is this going to be a continuation of that? Then they come back out for the second team session. He goes, I believe, 4 for 4, fumbled the snap on the first one of that drive there, but, still responded and hit Shedrick Jackson, was able to kind of react and move, and he looked like he was moving through his reads well and things like that. So, like, my thing is, it just seems like whenever he has ran into some struggles, he's been able to come back and improve upon them and take, minor steps forward. So, like, everyone's going to freak out. People that aren't there are going to freak out over what they hear about, like, one tweet from us or one video where he looked like maybe he stumbled from under center or whatever the heck it may be. But I think overall, like, he's looked good for a rookie. He just hasn't looked like the second coming of Joe Burrow right now, and I don't think he needs to be given the situation the Raiders are in,
Sure. Or one video where he looks slow, where you ruined somebody's life.
Hey,
what?
Okay.
What on earth happened with the Kirk Cousins video?
Also, and if you could answer
God.
the second part of this question, how does it feel to be part of the lamestream media that does these sort of things, to take things out of context like that?
Dude, I hate that it was me. I hate that it was me. Because I literally, like, Adam, you know this. We have a limited window to be able to film during practice. And yes, we can film the quarterbacks when they're throwing in individual drills, but they're like a mile away from us.
Yeah.
So they're going through warm-ups, and I'm like, oh, hey, the 5X zoom on my phone can get him pretty good. And he starts running, and I'm watching, and I'm like, oh, yeah, he's, like, not going all out. But, like, me being a genuinely positive guy, whatever, I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, it's still Kirk Cousins. I put Kirk Cousins, Raiders QB1. And little did I know that thing was going to do over 2 million views. People are losing their minds. I'm sure people thinking I'm the media member trying to troll him, whatever it is. I can assure you that was not the case. No. But it's pretty wild. And, like, Kirk, I'm sure, saw it because Adam, as I'm sure you've seen as well.
Yeah.
Seemingly every time they break the huddle after the warm-up now, he sprints over to the middle field where the quarterbacks are doing their individual drills. So I have to, first of all, apologize to Kirk next time I see him, because I did not want that to be his first introduction to Raider Nation, because folks are cooking him, rightfully so. But also at the end of the day, like, he's a vet. I bet you vets around the league are doing the same thing. It just so happened that I caught it on video and, innocently put it up there, and look what happens, That's I guess, 2026, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's not, you didn't put the caption, like you said. You just said QB1, and it's those certain aggregators, so I don't even mention the main one, who is probably responsible for like 98% of the views on that video, who just takes these videos from other people and puts obnoxious spins on them and gets traction off them. And it's a ridiculous part of the. Why are you laughing at the video?
Well, no, I'm laughing because I think out of all the responses, my favorite response was somebody who said, "My issue isn't that he's not athletic; it's that he's not even trying. This is Raider Nation." It's like, all right, dude, like, relax.
All right.
Yeah, like, come on now. Imagine if he was out there just like all out, like just sprinting, and like happened to like pull something or whatever. People would be losing their minds, So like, come on.
It's silly. In the comment section, again, not on your post, the comment section is pretty good, but the on the other one, it's the comment section is just a wild place. And I'll admit I've been diving deep in, and those
as
moments are scrolling, and some great memes and some things are developing from it, but it's ridiculous this happened. And you're right, it's clear that he saw it, because now he is just sprinting to every drill. And I saw comments on the new video like, "This is how Raiders are supposed to act." Like, all right, no, you don't need to sprint.
I just can't wait to talk to him, just to see, like, because he's a dude that seems like he's got a good sense of humor, and everything like that. Like, I just can't wait to get his reaction of it, because I'm sure it's going to be great, because that's just Kirk Cousins. So like, I'm sure that will be comical, and I'm sure that won't do the same amount of views as that one did, but I hope that it does. I hope people see whatever his response is to that.
What did you say?
I just like that. I like this is how Raiders are supposed to run. You mean the franchise that has 2 double-digit win seasons since 2006?
Also fair. Also fair.
What's worse, Kirk Cousins going through drills or Aiden O'Connell's hair?
Oh man. Okay, so I like, it's funny you bring that up, because obviously the people have been talking about it, and like, today I got the first real good look of it, like in his helmet. I had noticed it, but I didn't like really look at it. And I was like, man, that looks bad. Like, just like the way I was like, oh God. But hey, look, he's doing something different. Like, he's always been just the guy with the stash. Like, so I'm all for growing out the hair, man. And like, there's going to be weird, awkward phases. Like, there's pictures of me out there somewhere with long hair looking like Shaun White, but in a horrible way,
wow.
Like, so yeah, I don't want those to ever see the light of day, which I probably shouldn't have said on the radio with Adam Hill.
Nope, I'll find them.
Probably do some digging here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Emails are going out in about 5 minutes.
Yeah. I was going to say, as we speak, Adam's doing the digging right now.
If I were to remove, Jesse, I'll ask you first, and then I'll go to Adam. I'll remove the quarterbacks from the equation. Which position group has stuck out the most to you?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think probably the corners, just because I feel like we've been talking the most about them, particularly Hezekiah Massis. He played well in rookie minicamp, OTAs, and in actual minicamp, and that all ended. And I don't want to say I forgot about him, but I was like, okay, he finished strong. Let's see what happens when camp rolls around. I was not expecting to see him out there getting reps with the ones and as consistently as he has. I think, so I've just been talking a lot about the corners and the battle opposite Eric Stokes, which is funny because you have 4 guys if you want to stretch a bit, competing for a starting spot opposite Eric Stokes. And so they've stood out the most to me just because there's so much attention paid to that right now, especially with Jermod McCoy, who it feels like his run in that competition is coming. It's just it hasn't started yet, but it feels like they're ramping him up slowly. So that battle is just going to get so interesting to me. I think probably maybe the start of next week, I think we're really going to start seeing some movement there, and it's going to be so fascinating to watch. So that's what's, I guess, surprised me the most, in the sense of I knew we were going to be talking about it, but I didn't realize we'd legitimately be talking about Hezekiah Massis being involved in that battle.
Adam, what about you? Position group that has stuck out the most outside of quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, I'm not going to say that they're standing out because they're playing well or anything like that. It's just groups that you're watching more and more, and obviously the offensive line. The fact that they haven't rotated as much on the offensive line as I expected in terms of first unit and second unit, they've been pretty consistent. And I thought there's going to be a lot more rotation, a lot more of a battle, but it seems, and I guess I'll just throw that to you, Jesse. It seems like they've decided who the starting offensive line is at this point.
Yeah, I was having that. I said this on the radio every now and then on Raider Nation radio, and it makes me sound crazy, but I was having that conversation with myself recently about what are they doing along the offensive line, and because it seems like they're moving guys around up and down, first team, second team, third team, in just about every spot on the team except the offensive line, save for Trey Zune, who's playing every position. And I was sitting there trying to wrap my head around is it because they feel really good about this starting unit, or are they trying to give the guys that they're leaning towards as the 5 starters time to gel and mesh? And then when you've had, banked a week or so together, then you start mixing it up and seeing, or see how that unit does as a group. And then, okay, now we start taking pieces out where we need to and inserting one guy, removing another, rather than massive overhaul and changes and stuff. So I honestly, that might be kind of a cop-out answer, but I don't mean it to be. I'm kind of in wait-and-see mode on that because I have so many questions about guard in particular. I wish I had more questions about Spencer Burford at left guard, but I feel like they feel really good about him. More of my questions are at right guard and how that's going to transpire.
Jesse Merrick with us. Follow him up on X, Jesse SBSN, Silver and Black Sports Network. Jesse, what have we made of Kubiak, leader of men vibe, and how he's been running this training camp?
Yeah, it's very business-like and quick. The practices just seem like they're bam, 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 in one drill, out the other. The other thing too, Adam, I'm sure this stands out to you, is it's not as noisy as we've seen in years past, in terms of music and just kind of the craziness or the show of practice. It's just a very business-like approach. But I laugh every now and then too with Kubiak because you get a quote like we were talking earlier with the whole turd thing. Every now and then you'll get one of those when you expect him to be almost like a robot, So it's cool to kind of see the way his personality gets injected here and there with things, but just very business-like. And honestly, when you look at over the years at the personalities and the guys that have come in with different kinds of baggage as the head coaches of this team, I think this is exactly what they need right now, where it's a guy that's kind of not a picnic, but also can still relate to the players. It almost feels like he's been able to satisfy a lot of different things and be what this team is going to need right now, So I'm very fascinated to see what that actually looks like during the year, because it's easy to be all kumbaya now and everybody bought in and 1,000% bought in and all that stuff, because nobody's won or lost a game right now. I wonder midway through the season, does it still kind of feel like this? And that's the thing that'll be really telling about how much Kubiak has captured this locker room.
Silver and
Black. So far, you what?
I was just going to say Silver and Black Sportsnetwork.com. I wanted to pump the website, free newsletter. We are up against it, Jesse, but thank you very much, dude.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Yep. Jesse Merrick, who has been forced to deal with our shenanigans and listen to an anthem.
He's not the last one.
No, he's not. Caleb Herring joins us in 25 minutes.
Live from the Findlay Toyota Studios, it's Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas.
Cofield and Company here on this Monday with no Steve Cofield. He is out. Don't ask me when he's coming back. I don't know. See, the whole thing about the Cofield and Company aspect of it is it's a company thing. I just know that I'm back on Thursday.
Might be tomorrow.
Oh, okay, all right.
I don't know. Maybe not.
He's somewhere. I won't say where he is, but he sent me a picture of, if you remember, my dalliance with the liquor named Malort.
Sure.
During the winter months.
It's good stuff.
It is. And wherever he was at a Chicago-themed bar. He is not in Chicago.
No.
But there was a big Malort sign, and I told him, bring me a bottle. This is going to be my yearly tradition. James, I got you to try it, didn't I? Yeah.
Is the Malort another scam call?
This is happening to everybody.
Yes, all day, every day.
This is happening to everyone.
All day, every day.
I don't understand what this is.
JVT's referring to scam calls.
I am getting like 6 or 7 voicemails a day.
Yeah.
And it's always the same. Press 2 to talk to like Bruce or whatever. I don't want to.
Why don't we just patch it through?
At one point, I'm going to answer, yeah, you're right. And what do I say? He's never going to stop calling. I've heard that. I don't know if this is just a stupid internet thing that is just put out there, and then you just take it as fact.
Is this going to be an old man thing that you believe? Are you getting old? You believe something somebody told you about some?
No, I'm just gonna, I don't know if I believe it. I'm just going to say that I've heard that like when you decline the call, that then means the number is active, and thus they'll keep calling.
Probably, but they
it's
keep
a
calling
sign.
anyway. They don't really care because even if it's a voicemail, they know it's active.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
So I've gotten to the point now where like I've just in my immediate reaction when my phone rings is like decline the call.
Yeah.
911 calling. I'm like, no. Children's Hospital. Your son's no.
911's calling you.
Yeah.
The system is really.
Can I tell you?
It's really gone backwards.
Can I tell you? It's an well.
Before you tell me that, before you say that, I was just one thing on the scam call. It's gotten so bad for me. I have so many voicemails, like I can't even get real voicemails now.
Oh,
my mailbox is full.
Why don't you clear them out like an adult?
Because it happens 15 times a day at least.
I do it when squatting and surfing.
No.
Just clear them out, just like you're doing with your bowels.
That's when you look at comments on Jesse's Kirk Cousins video.
That is one of my favorites. My problem is half-assing it.
So dumb.
Actually, I desire to be that guy, like
make those comments
once. Yeah, to like truly believe, to watch that video, and to truly have my first emotion be rage because I don't think Kirk Cousins is trying hard enough because he's wearing silver and black and he's got to be a Raider.
You wear those colors, you run, buddy.
You sprint.
So stupid.
You risk your brittle Achilles on a cut in a warm-up drill.
What were you going to say? Sorry, I interrupted.
Oh, I was going to say this is an exhilarating feeling, but I feel like there's probably a lot of negative experiences with this thing that I'm about to say, but whatever, it was exhilarating for me. I got to call 911.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, like a legit, I got to call 911. And then the 911 operator was mad at me.
For what? You shouldn't have called?
Well, because I think it's like 1,000 people had probably called it in already.
Yeah.
Because I was driving 2 weeks ago. I was driving home, and on the 95 north, right behind the Mini Grand Prix.
Okay.
So on the freeway going north.
Sure.
There's, 94 like beater sedan, whatever. I couldn't tell. Engulfed in flames.
Okay.
Like, and when I say engulfed, I mean engulfed in flames. The front end looked like it was destroyed, and it was just burning uncontrollably.
Okay.
And I was like, these things have gas tanks on them.
Yeah, it could blow.
And I'm driving by it. I wonder what's going to happen. And so I just feel like, because, have you ever heard we've all heard of the, what's it called? The bystander syndrome or whatever, where essentially it's like a psychological effect where everybody assumes that, well, of course somebody's called that.
Yeah, somebody's called it.
Yeah. So I shouldn't. So I just want to be safe. I care about my community. And so I called 911.
What if did the 911 operator answer and go, let me guess, there's a fire in a car?
No. They gave me the spiel like, do you need, what is it, like police, medical, or fire? And I was like, fire, there's...
Maybe medical?
Yeah, maybe. That's what I said. I said, maybe medical. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, there's a fire on the 95. And she's like, we've received calls about it. We're on it. I'm like, okay. I just wanted to be a good sorry, and I apologized and hung up.
I would have been whatever that bystander syndrome, whatever it is. I absolutely would have been like somebody's called.
Yeah, I mean, I just have to be safe.
75 cars a second driving by this.
There's what I assume a relatively full, or at least somewhat partially full tank of gas is burning.
It's also pretty close to a Wiener Schnitzel.
Yes.
That could be dangerous.
So I thought it was exhilarating. But I'm a mature adult. And
really? The way you giggled at that terrible national anthem, you're going to call yourself a mature adult?
I realize that not everybody's experience is the same, and I'm sure there's probably somebody even listening right now that has had a horrifying experience having to call 911 in a true fight or flight situation. I am not that person. I just got the call because there was a fire.
I've had to do it many times. So it's not really a fun or noteworthy experience. It's kind of traumatic.
I thought it was thrilling. That's how my life is going lately, you know? I don't really have much going on.
That's good.
So I get to take the wins when you can.
You're discovering brand new, very popular places and
calling
911.
I think I'm a good citizen. I was also told that the bystander thing, it also includes, like, when you see somebody on the side of the road, you should stop and help them.
Because you assume somebody will.
Yeah. But then I drove by this woman who's broken down on the side of the road the other day, asked me if I stopped.
Well, also,
I had to get to work.
I'm gonna be a real jerk on this one. Clearly she wasn't attractive.
Plead the fifth.
You obviously would have stopped if she was.
I plead the fifth.
You obviously would have stopped.
Not going to incriminate myself here. What am I, Fauci?
Okay. You would have stopped in that case. Here's why I don't. There's a couple reasons I don't. Because I don't stop usually. I mean, if there was assistance I could have offered, for sure. I don't.
Especially to an attractive human being. Yeah, I levy your accusation right back at you.
Yeah. Why do you think I knew? What are you talking about? I will say that the likelihood of me being able to offer any sort of valuable assistance to anyone that's in trouble is very low.
Okay, so here's my thought. Here's what
very low.
Here's immediately what I thought.
I can't fix anything. I don't know anything.
I didn't think I was going to be able to offer any sort of assistance when it came to helping or anything like that. My first thought was actually
this non-attractive woman. Yeah,
they're going to ask to sit in my car because it's really hot.
Yeah. And honestly, and as I told you off the air, and I think we've talked about this on the air before, the air conditioning in my car is not.
Well, that's it.
Is broken.
You'd be done.
So I'd be like, stop it. Like, hey, you need to sit somewhere in my hotter car than it even is out here. It's hotter in my car than it was in that engulfed Toyota.
I have stopped to help somebody push their car multiple times.
Okay, yeah, I've done that.
Yeah.
Because that I'm like, okay, that I can help with.
Yeah.
But I would stop and be like, hey, everything okay over here? Like, yeah, actually, I need to check out this. Something broke down in my car. I'm like, yeah, I can't help you. Why'd you stop then? Like, what could I possibly help somebody with? I'm an absolute idiot in any kind of mechanical situation.
If you were driving.
Do you know how excited I am, John, that I actually did something at my house?
What'd you do?
Change
the light bulb?
I have a handyman. I've had to come over and do that. Well, like the long ones?
Yes, the long.
Yeah, I can't do that. Just the normal screw and light bulb I can do. But like the long, like the fluorescent one, no chance. The hot water went out in my house.
Okay.
So I had to
redo the pilot light?
Yeah. And I let it go. I waited like 2 days. And I was like, I'm not going to be able to do this.
You're also not going to get charged $100 just for someone to go.
I was taking freezing cold showers.
Yeah.
And I was like, this sucks. I was like,
so what was the process?
I have to do this. I mean, if I told you, it'd be embarrassing how easy it ended up being.
Isn't it?
Well, all you have to do is turn it off for like 10 minutes at least to clear everything out. Then you have to turn it back into the pilot position, push one button down, and click another button a bunch of times until it actually ignites.
Sparks,
and then turn it on. But I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do
It's like a
this.
fancy oven. or a fancy
not even
stovetop.
fancy. I mean, it was a very easy thing to do, but in my mind I was like, I will probably never have hot water again.
It's over.
It's over for me.
I mean, right now it's not bad.
Right, because it was like 113. I'm like, yeah, you know what? The cold showers are going okay. This actually felt nice, but I was like, I kind of wanted to. So that literally is what happened. I was like, you know what? I've taken like 5 cold showers in a row.
Yeah,
I kind of want a warm one. So I was like, let's do this, and I did it.
If you were driving and you saw broken down on the side of the road, president of baseball operations for the Los Angeles Dodgers, Andrew Friedman,
I would veer my car and run him over.
You would not stop to help.
No.
What if it was Tarek Skubal?
Yeah, look, I love Tarek for everything he did for Detroit. I wish he was still there. I wish he was there long term. And I'm not going to blame Friedman. I'm not going to blame Dave Roberts. I'm not going to blame the Dodgers. It's not their fault. It's the rest of baseball's fault. And it's not for the reason people think. And we talked about this earlier, but for those who weren't listening, like it's not because, as some people say, well, any other team could have gone and traded for him. I fully believe that the rest of the league wants the Dodgers to win the World Series with Skubal as a preface for shutting down the league next year.
Okay, so here's my question.
I think that's why they made this happen.
So real quick, let's set this up for the audience. So the reason why they want that to happen is because then in the CBA negotiations, they will have leverage, especially when it comes to baseball fans, because one of the big sticking points is going to be a salary cap, correct?
Yeah. Which, a side note, I don't know how they're going to be able to manage that with the way the Dodgers have all these contracts.
I was thinking that too.
Contracts.
I was like, it's not going to be able to kick in for
a Dodgers fan who I mentioned earlier, who was very obnoxious. Again, not somebody in this building. It's not Brandy, but a Dodgers fan who was obnoxious about this was like, "Well, they're going to have a salary cap next year, and what are you going to say then?" I'm going to say you're still. They're not going to get rid of all the players.
Yeah,
like for the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years, like you're still going to have all those same guys. I don't know how they're gonna install it. That's why there's not going to be a season.
There's realistically no way you could implement a hard cap immediately because then they would be forced to trade guys,
right?
And then they would have no leverage in trades. And so what were they going to do? They're going to trade Kyle Tucker for a single A prospect.
No, and I would imagine. Well, you're not going to do this, but I mean, I would imagine what you're going to say is that there's deferred money's out, or at least it's going to count against the cap. You can defer the money if that's how you want to get paid, but it's going to count against the cap right now. It's not going to count against the cap in the future.
They have $1.1 billion.
I would imagine you would say, $1.1 billion in deferred money. That's insane. I would imagine what you would say is those contracts are all void. That's not happening. It's not going to happen.
Right.
But that's what you would have to do in order to make a hard cap work right away is say, yes, the hard cap starts right now. You have to trade a bunch of guys, and all those contracts with deferred money either count right now or those are just void.
So I think that kind of answers my question, because my question was going to be, if this was, we all kind of expected that this was going to be the spark that was going to set everything off when they got Tarek Skubal, if they got Tarek Skubal. And the Dodgers knowingly looked around, saw the big plot of gasoline. They were like, yeah, and threw the match on it when they went and got Skubal. They didn't really care. And so my question was going to be, if they knew that this was going to start a fight that would lead to ultimately them being handcuffed in some form or fashion from being able to operate the way they have been, why would they do it? But to your point, they're probably looking around and going, how are you going to stop it? Because realistically, you can – you have to – I'm just ballparking it here. You would have to say in 5 years, that's when the hard cap – 5 years after we signed the CBA, that's when it's implemented.
I think you would almost have to –
or something gradual.
Yeah, it would go gradually. It would be implemented gradually, but also at the same time, I think you would have to say it starts whenever. What's the longest contract right now in baseball?
Yeah,
it starts whenever that ends.
And can we point out? And this is why I wanted to bring this up. What are we talking about right now? A salary cap. What are we not talking about right now? A salary floor.
Yeah.
Because
that'll be a part of a cap.
That should be, right? But this is what we mean in terms of like these baseball owners. You can get mad at the Dodgers for doing what they're doing, deferring money, spending money, doing all those sort of things. But there have been these owners for so long that have just sat there and laughed and counted their money and not spent because they just want to pocket it all. And while they point at the big bad guy at the end, at least the Dodgers are trying. At least they care and want to give their fan base something that is actually worth rooting for and going and buying tickets for. James, can we play this, the Reds clip that I sent you? If you have it ready, let me know. Because this is, I think, what really bothers you if you're following this sort of thing. This goes back to 2022. This is from a fan event, and this is actually on ESPN Cincinnati from 2022. But this is, I'm going to get the name correct here because I want to make sure that this is proper. Reds, Phil Castellani, if you remember this is at an event, but this is ESPN Cincinnati. They're talking to him about, hey, you know what? Reds fans are upset. They're not happy with the product. They don't really believe that the things are going to get better. What would you say to that fan?
Well, where are you going to go? Let's start there. I mean, sell the team to who? I mean, that's the other thing. I mean, you want to have this debate. You know, if you want to look at what would you do with this team to have it be more profitable, make more money, compete more in the current economic system that this game exists, it would be to pick it up and move it somewhere else. Yeah. And so be careful what you ask for. You know, I think we're doing the best we can do with the resources that we have.
President, CEO, owner Phil Castellini of the Cincinnati Reds 4 years ago. Where are you going to go?
Yeah.
That's all they care about. It immediately goes into, try to make a profit. But you're making a profit. You're doing fine. You own a product which is worth hundreds of millions, close to billions of dollars. You're always going to be able to get something out of it. There's a reason why, and that's why I don't get why people sit here and kind of root for these guys.
I know.
Because, folks, if it was as bad as they make it out to be, guess what they wouldn't own? A baseball team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
No, it's true. And that's why it's so much more than, you know, the simplistic approach that I heard people say of, you know, I heard it's the two takes. It's either the Dodgers are greedy and they're ruining baseball that way, or it's the other team's fault for not going out and signing these players or spending the money. Like, I do think it's intentional. I do think they're intentionally sabotaging the league right now. The rest of the owners, 29 other owners, need the Dodgers to win the World Series with Scooble.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they need to happen this year. That's the outcome of the season that they need. And they were willing to allow that to happen, which, of course, is unfair to the Tigers, by the way, who, when they go out and shop Scooble around and no other team is interested
sure.
in the best pitcher in the league, essentially, it's because that doesn't help us get our money that we want.
That's why when people are like, how does that package? Like, that's why.
Right.
Because the Tigers have no real other offer to say, well, we've got this.
Yeah. Because the other teams are saying, yeah, good. This is good for us. This is good for our bottom line. And also, you know, for those that aren't aware of the Dodgers, you know, TV revenue bankruptcy shelter, which is also largely responsible for this, which is why the current ownership group, the Guggenheim group that bought the team, one of the reasons they bought the team is because of this bankruptcy shelter that was in place. And they saw it and they said, this is really good financially for us. We can spend a ton of money, win games, and be very competitive, make even more money from our TV deal. And we don't have to share it, which is part of baseball right now. But the Dodgers don't have to share it because there was a huge miscalculation of what their revenues were going to be and what their TV rights were going to be. And it was calculated out over a long period of time in bankruptcy court. It was woefully short. So now there's all this money that they're making that they don't have to share and don't have to be a part of the league and just keep on their own, and then use that same money that they're not giving, that they should have to give other teams that they're not. They're using that money to then beat those teams down with their players, which that doesn't work. Like, I get that there's all these other aspects. I get that other owners should spend money. They should. But, like, this is a huge loophole that allowed this to happen, and it's so rarely talked about.
You know, I don't think we view baseball the same as we view other sports in the sense of judging greatness by championships, especially when it comes to individual greatness.
Yeah.
Because we have so many statistics and so many different numbers that gauge greatness in baseball that I think that has very much become a stat sport. So, you know, if you're, got a great WAR, all that kind of stuff, you're considered a great player. And championships are part of the equation. But generally, you don't view, player X the way we view MJ or LeBron and rings, Peyton Manning versus Tom Brady, all that sort of stuff. Patrick Mahomes. The reason why I bring this up is I guess I'll be a pig-headed sportsman for just a second and say, I mean, it's kind of lame. Like, Scooble, come on, bro. Really?
What, him leaving?
No. Well, you know where he's going to sign.
Right.
Is the thought is it's going to be the Los Angeles Dodgers. But, like, all these guys. Oh, I'll include Ohtani in it, too. I understand that you want to win a championship. Kyle Tucker, like, all this stuff. Like, really? Your road to a title is to just join the Monstars of baseball, and you feel pride in that? Lame.
No, I agree. Well, I made this case, and I've talked to Dodgers fans that said, I don't care. But, I mean, if I was a Dodgers fan, I'd be like, come on, what are we doing?
Right.
Well, come on, this is not, like, shouldn't we try to actually have a somewhat level playing field and, like, beat teams?
Wouldn't you take more pride in that?
I would think so. But Dodgers fans said, no, we like, I guess that's fine. But I think it's not going to be remembered in history that way.
Sure.
But I think for a lot of people, you'll remember, like, oh, they won titles with that team that just had every good player.
Mm-hmm. I tried to, and we're going to have Caleb Herring coming up here in a little bit, but I wanted to talk to some baseball prospect folks, because I know also what was going around is we keep talking about this Dodgers farm system, how it's always getting replenished and how it's always great. There's a long list of Dodgers prospects that have gone out in trades that have done nothing.
Yeah. And
the accuracy of how we rate these prospects in this farm system, I think, is also a pretty fascinating conversation. But
and I also think Dodgers players get an automatic boost.
Sure.
Like, oh, the Dodgers guy is probably pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's not. The Dodgers players that are good, there's another spam call.
Another call.
The Dodgers players that are good are the ones that they trade for.
Right, yeah, right.
Those are the good players.
Speaking of good players, and one who I led to a Poinsettia Bowl victory many years ago on NCAA football.
Okay.
2013.
He didn't try to leave your program, and
no, he did not. The transfer portal was not really a thing back then. His avatar in the game also had dreads, which I don't remember him having in real life. Caleb Herring joins
Maybe
us
he did.
next.
Now back to Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas.
Cofield back tomorrow. JVT, Adam Hill in with you for today. LVSportsNetwork.com. Make sure you head out there, podcasts, everything we have to offer, and follow us on social media at ESPN Las Vegas and LVSportsNetwork.com.
Should we play it?
Caleb Herring's here. Caleb, you have a lot of topics. You have a lot of important topics we have to get to, but I think one of the most important ones is the national anthem of one Martha Reeves, who went viral when she sung it at the WPBL the other day, the debut of the Women's Professional Baseball League. I would like your judgment on this. James, hit it.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight.
Okay, stop. Please stop. Please, I can't.
Caleb, you're an athlete. You've sat through many an anthem in your life. Your judgment.
I've never sat through one like that for the anthem. I will say this though, as a kind of a gentle way of phrasing this. There's a lady at just about every Southern Baptist church who everybody loves and adores, but she frequently wants to sing.
Oh boy!
And nobody has the heart to tell her no. That's what that reminded me of. Like the Sundays that lady gets the mic in church and goes up there and sings it. It's uncomfortable for everyone, but I get the sense that it had to happen because of the respect for this person. I don't know. That's the only thing positive I could say. That's the only spin I could put on it to make it not the worst thing since Fergie.
Well, what would, if you said you didn't hear one like this when you were playing. If you're playing, you're getting ready, introductions happen, everybody's fired up, you're lined up, you're on the sideline.
You got a big game, man.
Got the first possession coming up, and all right, here, let's go for the anthem. And this happens. Like, are you laughing? Are you locked in? Do you not even hear it? What's going on with you?
The thing about for me as a quarterback, I could withstand that mentally. I could be like, okay, that's terrible, but lock in on the game. My frustration would be there's 75% of the locker room of the guys who are hysterically out of focus and cracking up at this. And having to rein them back in would be my most frustrating part about it. I could care less about how bad the anthem is. I think a good anthem could influence me and like make me emotional. But a bad anthem, I wouldn't be too much concerned about it. It's the other guys that are giggling and snickering at it on my team that I need to lock in. That would be who I would have to lock in. The JVTs of the football team would have to be talked to on the sideline.
I got to admit, I could not stop laughing either. Now, does it change your mindset? She is a legend, Caleb. Motown legend. Many, many huge hits. But she's 85 years old. Like, they just made the mistake booking her. They should not have let her go up there.
And so that's what I meant by the old lady at the church. It's because whatever the reason is, she has the respect of the congregation. Nobody's going to say a mean word to this lady because of what she's done in the past and what she does. She's the whatever she means to the community, in this case, to the music world. She's a legend, right? So that makes you not want to say no to her. So she requests to go on, you let her go on. But in this case, I don't think you can request to sing the anthem. So you're right. Somebody booked this knowing what would happen. I think that person should be more in question than the actual performer in this one. That's just my opinion. But we got to. I think we should have auditions for this. Like, you got to sing your rendition first before you get out here live and make a mockery of the anthem in front of all these people.
Well, she blamed field conditions.
Yeah. In a statement released, she blamed field conditions as part of the reason why.
The fact that you have to release a statement about your performance is absurd. Like, if you're at the point where you got to defend your bad performance that way, just chalk it up and retire. You know what I mean? Like it's over. It's curtains.
I do feel like we've really trashed her.
We have
today.
I think we have. I
bad.
mean, her performance wasn't great. Although, I would say,
hold on.
What?
This is her.
Yeah,
that's her. She's
that
good.
video you're also watching is in black and white. Yeah. It's been a while. Caleb Herring's with us, UNLV analyst, former UNLV football player as well. I was going to make the segue to, speaking of from terrible performances to incredible ones, it is the summer of Tom Holland. You have watched both Spider-Man and The Odyssey. What are we making of what people are calling the Spidacy?
Wow, that's catchy. The funny is, that's a power couple move that both of them are in both movies. Yeah. For Zendaya and Tom Holland, that's I don't think that's ever been done before, right?
It's
like two of the biggest blockbusters of all time.
Excuse me,
much, right?
Ben Affleck and J-Lo were in Geely together. Thank you.
Right, but he's saying two movies at the same time with the same two.
I know.
That's crazy.
The same two as a couple in two blockbuster absolute mega hits. Like, both will clear $1 billion at the box office this year, and they're both in them and have prominent roles in the movies as well. They're not just in the movie, but it's phenomenal for them. Relationship, right? Hashtag be better than you. But I do think that Spider-Man for me right now ranks as the second best Spider-Man movie. I think it's the best because of the outside surrounding build-up to it and what Marvel's trying to do in pivoting and redirecting. So I will say that about the movie. As a movie, it's the second best behind Spider-Man 2. Tobey Maguire's. Tom Holland has become my favorite Spider-Man. And I think this movie did something very important that might be an underrated thing. And I forgive me if this is a spoiler. And if you haven't seen it, it's your fault. Sorry. But I think the best thing that this movie did was fix the Incredible Hulk. And if you've seen the movie, you know what I mean. But they fixed the Incredible Hulk going forward. And I think they made Spider-Man the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man again. So that's my take. The Odyssey was a cinematic masterpiece. Say what you want about adaptations and, he didn't do it justice. He didn't follow history exactly. I don't care. He gave me an entertaining movie that I will watch again. And I probably will in theaters again. I didn't get to go to the Palms and see it in 70 mil, but I did see it in IMAX, and it was worth the extra money in my opinion because I love movies. So, two great movies in the summer. I'm excited for what December holds with Dune and Avengers Doomsday. So excited about movies this year.
Adam, please rank your Spider-Man films.
I assume this is number 2. Is that what Caleb said? I'm just going to go off I'm gonna use Caleb's ranking.
Yeah, that's absolutely abysmal. No, this is Tom Holland's fourth rendition of Spider-Man in terms of his own movies. I believe it's the sixth time in which he has used the character. He was also a part of 2 Avengers movies. Actually, 7th because he was also in Captain America: Civil War. Now Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire is the best of the Spider-Man film.
Yeah.
And then you can debate afterward where his
this
first
is number
Spider-Man
2.
ranks, Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Brand New Day. We all agree that the Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Andrew Garfield was not very good.
Okay.
I actually disagree.
Wow.
I disagree. This is a hot take. I think the Amazing Spider-Man series gets trashed a little bit too hard. And I think it's not the best Amazing Spider-Man, but it's not a terrible movie. I think the Gwen Stacy death in Amazing Spider-Man is probably one of the best scenes. Okay, again, it's your fault at this point.
Came out in 2012. Adam hasn't had a chance to watch it.
Came out when that lady could still sing.
That was a good one. Yeah, no, I think that series gets a little bit too much flack. Andrew Garfield was an amazing Spider-Man. It's fitting, like, no pun intended there. But I do think we trashed it. I don't think there's a bad Spider-Man movie on the docket yet. There's not one that's like Green Lantern bad. You know, like Ryan Reynolds and Green Lantern is terrible. There's no Spider-Man movie that reaches that level. So you're playing with the best superhero of all time, in my opinion. Best comic book superhero of all time. And so you're not going to make a bad movie, but it's just maybe not the best of all the movies.
It's not opinion, it's fact. Spider-Man is the greatest superhero of all time.
I don't think I've seen a superhero movie.
You don't think you've seen a single one? Like, even Batman?
No, I saw Joker, but that's not really a superhero.
Like the Joaquin Phoenix one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not really a superhero one. You haven't seen any of the Batman movies?
Oh, yeah. I saw...
even going back to like Keaton or George Clooney.
I saw Dark Knight.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so that's the only one.
Which technically that can happen. There's no superpowers in that. So that fits into your profile of things that can happen.
Yeah.
Adam has, Caleb, I don't know if you know this, but for our audience too, Adam has a rule of he will not watch movies that cannot happen in real life.
Yeah.
So you didn't watch The Odyssey?
No.
No.
Which, going back to your comment, Caleb, my favorite thing about that movie is people complaining about the historical accuracy of a Greek myth, which is...
absolutely hysterical. Oh, because Poseidon really did do that to Odysseus, right? Like, that was really what happened there? Yeah, okay.
All right, I want to read a tweet to Caleb Herring, as we, I guess, have to be serious at some point here.
No.
Caleb's with us. UNLV football analyst. I'm going to read this tweet. I was just told that Jackson Arnold is struggling with decision-making and taking too long on his progressions and reads. Might be a long year if he doesn't step it up. What are your thoughts?
A couple of thoughts. I was told, my first thing whenever someone says that is, who told you?
Yeah.
Cite your sources. You learned that in elementary school.
Also, the other thing, not to cut you off, is that also tells us you weren't there.
Yeah.
Right. So this is not firsthand information, already taking it with a grain of salt. Second, after that process, is who, with knowledge of that, of Jackson Arnold's decision-making, how accurate he's being with his decision, who with knowledge of that, i.e. the coaching staff, because those are the only people who can really assess that practice, if a decision was good or bad or wrong, which coach is your source that told you that? And to me, as someone who assesses quarterbacks and actually, analyzes things, my opinion of quarterbacks is always my opinion. And I would never say that someone's struggling with decision-making unless I knew the decisions intimately enough to say that it was a bad decision. If I knew the progression of a quarterback, I would be able to say he's making bad decisions. He's reading that play wrong, right? There's a depth to saying that I would have to first establish. And that's just my standard. I don't want to bash quarterbacks for my opinion of them. I just want to know the facts. In the third practice of a fall camp, even if I was at every practice, I wouldn't have enough information to determine that somebody is not making decisions at the appropriate clip. Again, just me. But people are on social media and people like to have opinions, and I say let them have them. I will wait and see and judge for myself. I had not seen that from Jackson in the spring. His slow process of decision, whatever the tweet said exactly. And I think if Coach Mullen saw it, he would be the first one to make an adjustment with that. He has said on the record, and I think you were there for the scrum, that they're ahead of schedule. They're ahead of where they should be as a team. And I don't think you make statements like that if your quarterback is struggling with decision-making to the level that tweet makes it seem like. So I'll wait and see and judge for myself with that one.
When you're watching this team, we've talked about the quarterbacks and what we're expecting from this group overall. But outside of the quarterbacks, what else are we watching here? Preseason love, I think they were just announced. We got a couple of members on the Maxwell list, correct?
Yeah, I think Jackson Arnold and Jet Thomas have racked up a couple more preseason accolades. This one's for the Maxwell. They were both just announced. So there's expectation on this team and anticipation. Probably the most anticipated season for UNLV. And the Maxwell Award nomination is the first time UNLV, I believe, on record. You ask Mark Wallington, the SID, he'll fact-check me on this. I think it's the first time they've had 2 Rebels nominated for the Maxwell Award. Mm-hmm. So that kind of shows, as well as the 15 all-conference preseason awards that were sent out, that shows the anticipation for the conference and for everybody for this to be UNLV's best year or biggest year in terms of conference success and overall success. So there's a lot riding on this year. So I think that as a whole, UNLV coming through on the expectations is the thing to watch for. I think improvements, more micro focus here, improvements in the linebacking core with the depth that was added with transfers coming in, as well as development of Blessing Alawalo Tuiolomotu and what he's looking to do with Mike Shear coming back as his coach again and that reconnection. I think that linebacker core having success and the defense in general being more successful this season than they were last year, I think answers a big what if for Dan Mullen and his staff. The offense was one of the best in the conference, one of the best in the group of 5 for offensive production, but the defense was just lacking behind. How good could the team be if the defense was serviceable all the time during the year? That's, I think, what we're looking for. And there's lots of little stories that go along with that. The defensive line transfers, people still fighting for eligibility at that. So it could impact that. So I think a lot of storylines for UNLV, but anticipation is the biggest one.
Caleb Herring with us, UNLV football analyst, talking about UNLV practice yesterday. I was out there talking to Dan Mullen, as were many local media members, including Adams' compatriots over at the Las Vegas Review-Journal. I'm going to state this as fact, although I cannot prove it. I believe Justin Flo to be the lone football player that has ever existed that has had the greatest discrepancy between headshot and actual personality, because the headshot looks intimidating, and then you talk to him, and he's a very energetic and nice young man. He is changing positions to an extent, playing more along the edge. What are you going to make of this change that he is undergoing?
I would agree with your assessment. He is all intimidation in his photo. He's like the little Giants when they, what is this for? Intimidation. Like his picture is that, but then as a person, he's like a teddy bear. So I completely agree with that assessment. I also agree with the transition from inside linebacker or middle linebacker to edge rusher / and I'll just say it in the nicest way possible, less responsibility, more physicality. Mm. I think that's kind of where he would thrive. And sometimes you don't have the luxury of being able to move a player like that. But the athleticism, the physicality of Flo is, I think, necessary to have on the field. And we saw them try to get him on the field last year in the return game and on special teams and just letting him loose there. I think they may have intention of doing the same thing with him on the edge and not having less responsibility in part of communication, getting everybody lined up in the inside and really just letting him go to work on the edge a little bit in this defensive scheme. I think that might be beneficial not only for him on his individual career and his eligibility and what he can do and prove, but for the team. I think he's a weapon to have physically. He's an opposing presence. If he's on the field, there's going to be some contact, right? And I think you want that in your defensive scheme. His attitude, his mindset about contact is next to none. So put him out there, let him loose and let him go and see how he can impact the game from that spot. I think it's a good move by the Rebels.
Caleb, always good to talk to you, man. Thank you very much.
Take care, guys. Have a good one.
Yep. Caleb Herring again, UNLV football analyst. Before we go to break and hit the grab bag, James, we have 2 tickets here we should probably give away, so let's do this. The Foo Fighters Take Cover Tour with Queens of the Stone Age coming up Saturday, September 26th over at Allegiant Stadium. If you want to get your tickets, you can head up Ticketmaster.com. But if you want to check out Foo Fighters with Queens of the Stone Age, well, we'll give away 2 of them here. 702-364-1100, 702-364-1100, caller number 11.
Cofield and Company presents Grab Bag on ESPN Las Vegas.
Stick your hand in there, dude.
Okay, social question. bachelor parties.
All right.
And the planning of said bachelor parties.
Sure.
So I will throw him under the bus. I don't know if he listens. Maybe he does. Danny Smythe, who used to work in this building. He's now the janitor over at Sam and Ash. He's getting married in October. So he's having a bachelor party at the beginning of October. How do you go about... You're not married.
Nope.
James, are you going to be married? Okay. All right. No time soon. Okay. So have you been part of bachelor parties? Yeah? Okay. All right.
Oh, yeah.
When you were invited, when it was planned, before official invites, like 100% official invites went out, how in the know about the potential plans of the bachelor party were you? Does that make sense?
Were the bachelor or were you like...
With just the bachelor, just in general, did you have an inkling of what the bachelor party would entail before official plans were set and you were invited?
You're saying as a guest,
as a guest,
not as
yes.
Yeah, if it's like out of town.
Okay.
If
this is a key. This one is not out of town.
If you're like, hey, it's going to be Friday. Let's say it's Friday, whatever, September 8th.
Yeah.
Like you might just know that. So say, hey, make sure you know the date, and then I think you would. It's fair to say, do I need to take off work the next morning?
Okay. Yeah. Right.
Like how's that? Like, but yeah, I don't think the exact details need to be known.
Okay. Because Danny has been planning his bachelor party. Now, I have been privy to the planning because I've been helping with some aspects of it. Not a ton. His brother is in charge of pretty much 99.9% of it. I've just offered advice and, like, just talk to this person and do that person, right? So I had an idea of what this was going to be. But over the weekend, they settle on what
I forgot one other thing before you say, because it might involve. Do I need to like save for this? Is there going to be a very expensive event, or is it going to be fairly cheap?
I'm rich as hell, so this is all different for me. I don't think the price point of what is being asked is exorbitant.
Sure.
I would say if for this event, if you wanted to go out and have a good time for everything that is planned, I think $300 would be more than enough.
Okay.
Yeah. More than enough.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So, long story short is, I've had an idea of what the plans are going to be. Danny officially decides over the weekend, this is what's going to happen. His brother makes the purchases that are necessary for the event that we're going to attend. Actually involves a station friend, but we'll just, you can surmise what a Saturday in October would entail. He texts the group chat over the weekend that he wants to invite Danny's brother. Hey, everybody. Danny's getting married. You're invited to the bachelor party. This is what we're planning. Really hope that you look forward to it. Now, I was out with two of the people that were subsequently invited. They had zero clue they were even invited to this bachelor party. And first heard of this bachelor party, which is occurring in October, so still plenty of time. It's it's 2 months from now. So just immediately we're just like, oh, Danny's having a bachelor party? Like, what is this? Reads the text, and one of them goes, yeah, I'm not spending that money. I'm out. And the other says, well, it's Danny, and he's our buddy, so, like, I guess I'm going to go, but, like, I don't really want to do that. And I was just like, should Danny have told them and brought them in on the, hey, this is what I'm thinking? Or should the two friends in question suck it up and be like, hey, it's Danny's bachelor party?
Yeah, would it have mattered? I think the question is, would it have mattered? Like, if he was like, hey, this is what we're going to do, would they try to change the whole thing or whatever? Like, no. I think if it's in town, it's one day.
Yep.
It's not, like, taken off the next day.
Correct.
I think you're fine just to invite them and say, hey, here's the plan.
So
I think that's totally acceptable.
Now I'll unveil the plans. We got the private room at the Westgate.
Sure.
And they want to go watch college football all day Saturday, drink, obviously, have fun, and then go to a steakhouse. That's it.
Yeah, I think that's...
And I don't think I'm mispricing that because we did the math. It's like $150 a person if you're getting 10 people out there for the thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And then whatever you get at the steakhouse. So I think $300, that's like more than a fun time.
You're ordering the $300 tomahawk. So.
Of course I am. Yeah, that's a drop in the
I think that's totally acceptable to just invite them. No, I'm gonna go hotter take here. I think doesn't he have a kid with her?
Yes.
You don't get a bachelor party.
What is that? Wait.
No.
Because you're not a bachelor?
Yeah, yes.
A
bachelor party is like,
what if somebody...
That's ridiculous.
What if somebody were to have children and then separate from their marriage, but one day down the road decide that love is maybe up for grabs once again? Would that person be able to have a bachelor party?
Well, I don't think you had a bachelor party the first.
not talking about me.
I'll just say, it depends if you had one your first time. If you had like a big bachelor party once, you don't get another one a second time.
Yeah, okay.
But if you didn't have a big bachelor party before your first wedding, then yeah, you could do it.
Taking notes for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think that was that bad. No, I was actually surprised by the friend's response.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous reaction
to that.
It's a ridiculous.
It's like
reaction.
that's not. Now here's the thing: they're not sports guys.
Okay.
Outside of playing sports like hockey
Sure.
and stuff,
Yeah,
but maybe that was part of it. All right, Cofield's back tomorrow. We'll see you.